was a seditious conspiracy against the government of the United States, and that's a crime.
Led by Donald Trump.
Led by Donald Trump, encouraged by Donald Trump.
So amazing that she would say this when she herself has been accused of trying to go after Donald Trump after he was president. I mean, let's not forget, and I'm not going to go into the weeds on this stuff because I don't have time, and frankly, I'm sort of just, it is a rabbit hole that I don't want to go down tonight, but let's not forget, part of the Durham investigation had to do with Hillary's camp, effectively spying on Donald Trump after he moved into the White House. Remember the whole thing with Michael Sussman, the same guy who lied to the FBI about his ties to the Clinton camp? Well, he also worked with tech executives to go after Donald Trump and gather intel on the president and spied on him not only during his campaign, but into the White House as well. Now, Sussman, by the way, as you know, was found not guilty of that, but that was because the jury found that his lie didn't impact the overall work of the FBI. But he was involved in the Hillary campaign and the Hillary camp when he was doing that. So regardless as to what the jury ultimately found, he did lie to the FBI. And they did try to go after Donald Trump and gather as much information as they could, even after he was in the White House. We could also go down the road of the dirty dossier, where Hillary's camp paid for the dossier. It's all lies. They know that it's all lies. Then they give it to the FBI. Then they leak it to the media who reported it. Then Hillary and her camp attacked Donald Trump for it. You know what that led to, of course, right, is the Mueller investigation. Let's also not forget that her own campaign manager testified that Hillary herself approved plans to lie about Trump having back-channel communications with Russian banks. Remember that from months ago now. In other words, they knew that it was a lie, yet they went with it anyway. Took it to the FBI, took it to the media. That's what Hillary Clinton did. That's what her camp did. And all of this Russian collusion, all of this nonsense did lead to the Mueller investigation, which hijacked the first 2 years of Trump's presidency and sent the country into a literal tailspin. And I think that we still carry those scars to this day, don't we? I mean, look, Obama was incredibly divisive. I do understand that. He was incredibly divisive. Donald Trump comes in, and we all know what Trump did. He said things that a lot of Americans were feeling. The swamp didn't want to hear it, and we ended up with not only one of the just nastiest campaigns ever heading into 2016, but also 4 years of just get Trump, get Trump, get Trump. So if you want to talk about, seditious conspiracy, I haven't even looked it up to see what exactly seditious conspiracy means, but I would be willing to bet that if you really want to start going down that road, we can talk about the Democrats. We could talk about Adam Schiff. We can talk about all of the Democrats who were hounding Donald Trump day after day after day when he was president, accusing him of colluding with the Russians when ultimately we know that he did not collude with the Russians. So Hillary Clinton accusing Donald Trump, the only thing I can say is, really? Are you kidding me? You want to talk about tone deaf, and the swamp and the media allow her to get away with it. We'll return next on Red Eye Radio.
Top of the Hour News is brought to you by House Products. Visit houseproducts.com.
This is Red Eye Radio on Westwood One.
Progressive Commercial Insurance protects truck owners with specialized coverages for heavy trucks. Get a quote in as little as 5 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Great news for business owners. You now have access to the A to B fuel card, which until now is only available for fleet owners. The A to B fuel card is accepted anywhere they take Visa. You can use your A to B fuel card for maintenance, repairs, and more. Or restrict your card to just fuel purchases for employees to use.
And Eric, A to B will even watch out for misuse and suspicious transactions. And A to B is about more than just saving you money. They also make it easy to manage all your fuel and transportation related costs. They help you quickly prep your taxes and are always there to help with 24/7 support that answers in seconds.
You work hard for your business. Get the fuel card that's going to work hard for you. Get A to B. No credit check required. Apply today at atob.com/redeye. That's ATOB.com/redeye. For a limited time, you get a $50 credit. That's atob.com/redeye. atob.com/redeye. And get a $50 credit. atob.com/redeye. Eric Harley and Gary McNamara for the best-selling Eden Pure Thunderstorm Air Purifier. That's right, over 250,000 already sold, Gary.
Oh, so many have been sold because people like me that have cats. And the smell near the kitty litter, I tell you, the Eden Pure Thunderstorm takes care of it completely.
It sends out O3 molecules which seek out and destroy odors. I love my Eden Pure Thunderstorm. You will too. It is awesome. And by the way, you can put it behind furniture. Odors can't hide.
And the best thing, no filters to buy. You save so much money on that.
Save $200 on an Eden Pure Thunderstorm 3-pack for whole home protection. You get 3 units for under $200. Put one in your basement, bedroom, family room, anywhere in the house. You can take it on the go. It's portable. EdenPureDeals.com and discount code REDEYE3 to save $200. EdenPureDeals.com, discount code REDEYE3. Shipping is free.
Hey, truckers, it's time for today's roll haul. I'm hauling frozen pizzas.
I'm hauling dumbbells. Those whip. I'm hauling motion sensor plastic skeletons that jump out at you when you walk in front of them. Woo!
I'm hauling beans. From hauling pizzas to plastic skeletons to beans. You can save when you get a Progressive Commercial truck insurance quote in as little as 5 minutes. Get a quote today at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
If you depend on a truck to make a living, then American Trucker is for you. Every day, Trucker.com is packed with information you need to keep your truck running and the money rolling. From new products to the latest in regulations, American Trucker has what you need to know. American Trucker staff knows that you are running a small business, and they work hard to bring you news and information that matters. So don't miss American Trucker's free newsletter. Go to Trucker.com. That's Trucker.com and sign up today. Sponsored by Fleet Owners.
News Radio 1440 is WLWI AM and 95.1 HD3 FM of Montgomery, a Cumulus media station. This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. There are record temperatures in the forecast for California again today, with a predicted high of 97 in LA. Governor Newsom is urging people to conserve power to prevent blackouts.
Everyone has to do their part to help step up for just a few more days. Individuals, the state, industries, business, all doing their part to help reduce strain on the grid.
An excessive heat warning is in effect until Friday evening. Schools in one northern city have canceled afternoon classes for the rest of the week, with temperatures inside classrooms in the mid-80s. The blistering heat isn't helping firefighters battle more than a dozen large-scale wildfires across the state. The flames in Riverside County forced this man from his home.
Oh, it was really scary and a lot of smoke, and that's why we decided to leave.
A report says a file discovered at Mar-a-Lago had extremely sensitive information inside. CBS's Anne-Marie Green has the details.
The Washington Post says a document describing a foreign government's nuclear capabilities was found by FBI agents last month. Now, the name of the country and the location of where the documents were found at Mar-a-Lago were not disclosed.
Concerns are growing about the safety of the Russian-occupied Zaporizhia nuclear plant in Ukraine. Correspondent Cami McCormick reports the UN is now urging a security zone around the facility.
The warnings were dire from the head of the International Atomic Energy Agency.
We are playing with fire, and something very catastrophic could take place.
To the U.S. and British representatives to the UN Security Council.
Russia has no right to expose the world to unnecessary risk and the possibility of nuclear catastrophe.
Russia is playing roulette with nuclear safety.
Ukraine now says it would support the deployment of UN peacekeepers at the plant.
This was supposed to be the first day of school in Seattle, but students are sitting it out and teachers are walking picket lines, including Leslie Elementary's Jamila Bomani.
We want to be here. We want to be ready. But we want to make sure we are coming back to school with everything we need and everything our students need.
Teachers want higher pay and more support for special needs students. A former president and first lady will return to the White House today.
I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear.
The Obamas will be on hand for a ceremony to unveil their official portraits. The first time Mr. Obama went back in April, he called Joe Biden vice president and assured his former number two it was only a joke that went over like a lead balloon. S&P futures up 5. This is CBS News.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Visit libertymutual.com to learn more.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender by Norton is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. 800-401-6681.
A video of a Good Samaritan in Atlanta is getting lots of attention.
No, ma'am, you can't do it.
The TikTok video has been viewed more than 5 billion times and shows Popeye's employees ignoring Joe Ortega while she tried to get food for a homeless man named Jazz.
They called the cops on me, everything, bro.
Atlanta police responded but didn't cite Ortega because she wasn't breaking the law. A manager paid for her food. Popeye says they are retraining employees to prevent this from happening again. Ortega tells me,
my message is just to always show love, treat people like people.
Jonathan O'Brien for CBS News, Atlanta.
Jerry Seinfeld has ditched his puffy shirt.
Now that's a great looking shirt. Hi, Captain.
He's modeling for a fall menswear campaign. Funny Man, the face of Kit's new line. He poses in floral fleece, a paisley set, and a Mets cap, paired with a classic varsity jacket. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Ron's Roofing knows that when a storm damages your roof, it's hard to know what to do next. Easy. Rely on the most trusted and recognized roofing name, Ron's Roofing. They'll help protect you from the next storm. Ron's Roofing understands that your roof is your home's first line of defense. That's why they work with all insurance companies to ensure that your home is protected from any unexpected storms. A job won't get the Ron's Roofing name on it unless it's done right. Visit ronsroofing.com or call 215-0070.
Russ Wilson here. with Play 60, United Way, and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Healthy kids.
To get involved, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Donate.
Are you guys going to do that every time?
Yes, of course.
Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Telling it like it really is. It's the Dan Bongino Show, weekdays from 11 to 2 on News Radio 1440. Your WSFA First Alert Weather Forecast on News Radio 1440.
Yep. Sponsored by Publix Supermarket. At Publix, they want to help you get the items you love for less, which is why they have all kinds of ways to save. Shop smart with digital coupons, weekly sales, and buy one get one deals. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
A chance of scattered showers and a few thunderstorms later this afternoon into this evening. Coverage today will be around 40%, really peaking between roughly 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock this evening. Only a 40% chance, so certainly not everyone sees it. Otherwise, muggy, highs near 90. It will be in the upper 80s again tomorrow to pushing 90. Partly to mostly cloudy with a few late day into the evening showers and storms Thursday. Better rain chance for everyone Friday. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Right now, things are looking good. No major problems or accidents are being reported that would send you on an alternate route. Keep listening, and we will keep you posted with the latest and the most accurate traffic conditions on the radio. Get ready for football and fall at Midtown Plaza. Shop Foot Locker, Sally Beauty. Get your nails done at Profession Nail and Spa and more. Midtown Plaza and Street off of I-85. Another great McClinton and Company development. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
Attention River Region listeners, take advantage of 4 new tires with no money down at Chico's Auto Pros, Montgomery's #1 rated tire store. Chico's Auto Pros.
Good morning, I'm Jasmine Williams with WSFA 12 News. Here's what's happening this Wednesday. A vote from the State Board of Education could change high school graduation requirements in the state of Alabama. Thursday, the board will decide whether to add career readiness benchmarks that all students must meet. The goal is to help improve the state's workforce in the long run. The town of Pike Road has confirmed a new restaurant will be located in the Pike Road Station Shopping Center on Don Road. Mellow Mushroom will take the space there, and construction will take place over the next few months.
My
For
glasses
30
on.
days out from the greatest 10 days of fall, the Alabama National Fair.
I knew.
There will be new shows and security procedures, including a policy
Oh,
that requires
somewhere.
anyone 17 and younger to be accompanied by a parent or guardian. The Alabama National Fair will be held at Garrett Coliseum October 7th through the 16th. I'm Jasmine Williams with WSFA 12 News, and these are your morning headlines.
Between business life, social life, and her best bud Loki, Beverly has a lot to focus on, especially while fighting Stargardt, a blinding retinal disease. But she's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Beverly, winning the fight means focusing on what's closest to her. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
Straight Talk Wireless knows there are plenty of reasons you might need a new phone. But switching to a better wireless provider doesn't have to be one of them. Keep your own phone and save when you switch to any Straight Talk Wireless phone, like our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with unlimited high-speed data and 5 gigs of
If you
hotspot,
see-
plus nationwide
if you
5G
see
and
my,
America's best networks. Keep your own phone. Switch to a better wireless plan. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no
Those are
compromise.
working.
For price available on your phone, enjoy a PK.
Yeah, okay.
Actual availability.
You're tired. You're tired.
Another Guardian Credit Union story.
Hey, are we trying the same as usual?
Yeah.
How's your baby girl doing?
She's great, but with 3 kids.
How's your baby girl doing?
You should check out Guardian Credit Union. We got a home equity line of credit from Guardian to finish our basement. They have low rates and a great team that's easy to work with.
Really?
Yeah, my mom got a Guardian home loan to buy her house. They refinance too.
Thanks. I'll check them out.
Connect with Guardian for all your lending needs.
Thinking about life insurance? What if you could make one free phone call and learn the best price from up to 10 price competitive companies? Well, that's exactly what happens when you call
Oh, yeah,
State.
that's
For
the
example,
one.
George is 39.
That's the
He was
one,
getting
brother.
sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $22 a month. I'm Select Quote agent Dan Savino, and believe me, if Select Quote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-890-6688. That's 800-890-6688.
Don't you know?
800-890-6688.
There we go. There we go.
Or go to selectquote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full
I
details.
got my favorite hat on, of course.
Quote.com/commercials. Or price can vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
You wash your hands and brush
Have you
your
ever
teeth.
let them do me guilty?
With no bomb. The bug will stay in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, dirt, and germs, and it's why nose cleaning is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. People try to bar for lots of reasons: sinusitis, allergies, snoring, things that make it hard to breathe through your nose. But over time, they also find that cleaning their nose makes them feel better, a lot better. Nearly 3 million Nevada users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying things like, best product I've ever used, and amazing, I love my Nevada. That's because Nevada helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less. But the biggest payoff is improved health. Here's the key point. Navage is good personal hygiene, and it's going to help you stay healthy. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, Target, and online. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Hey, Bobby, why do digital marketers make good actors?
I'm not sure. Why do they?
Because they nail impressions. Man, Bobby, you kill me. So, you think you can sell impressions too? Boy, do we have a job for you. Cumulus Media is looking for a great digital sales manager. We offer full-time positions with great benefits and opportunities in media, digital sales, a fun working environment, and all the impressions you could possibly think about selling in the industry, on air, and online.
Go to newsradio1440.com for details.
Your local radio stations are here for you. No subscriptions
All right,
is
let's get those
necessary. We're here to give you the news,
there,
weather,
just
and
in case I need it.
and the music you love. But if the foreign-owned record labels get their way, it could stop the music. They want Congress to force radio stations to pay them more money simply to play their music. Don't let radio go silent. Text local to 52886 and tell Congress to protect local radio stations. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
He is the voice of the conservative millennial.
Ben Shapiro.
The Ben Shapiro Show, tonight at 8 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Depend on it. Sometimes you need to reset, refocus on your day. The moment where you take a deep breath and change the focus from the problem to the problem solver. This is Decisions with Kevin Elkins.
And good morning, Montgomery, Alabama. It is time to rise and shine once again. Good morning to you. I'm Kevin Elkins. I am your host, the bro that used to have the fro. Now I don't know. Anyway, good morning to you. It's time to rise and shine. It's another day above the ground without the ground being above you. It is a great day also to be alive. It is September the 7th. It is time for our daily bread. A word from on high, something to change your perspective or give you a new one. Either way, it's good for the soul. September the 7th, 2022. Today's daily bread is simply entitled Finding a Refuge. And our scripture insight today comes from Isaiah 25, 1 through 9. And Isaiah 25 and 4 says, you have been a refuge for the poor, a refuge for the needy in their distress, a shelter from the storm. That is your daily word for the day. Govern yourselves accordingly. Again, it is September the 7th, 2022 AD. It is a day like all the other days that has never been. And it is a day that once it's gone, you'll never see it again. You don't get a chance to bring it back. You don't get to summon it from the past. You don't get to come back and do all the things that you should have done this day that you don't. And you certainly don't get a chance to come back and undo the things that you do. So whatever it is that you do with this day, September the 7th, make sure that if tomorrow should be, you be proud of what you have done this day. If you have lived a while, you've seen, you've heard many, many yesterdays. And if we are blessed and given the grace and mercy of God, we may, I'm not sure, but we may see some tomorrows. But if tomorrow should never be, then it is this day that is the first day of the rest of your life. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? Well, whatever you do, if you can, while you can, until you can, reach back every once in a while and help somebody else along the way. Benjamin Elijah Mays once said that whatever we do in life, we should do it so well, no man living, no man dead, and no man yet to be born can do it any better. And I say if that is the standard by which you live life, you shall always be successful. Oh, you'll fail at a thing or two. We all do. The difference is rest if you can. Give out if you must. But you never, ever, ever give up. You never quit, because quitters don't win. And winners, oh, they may fail at a thing or two. We all do. But they'll never give up. So don't you. And again, it is a great day to be above the ground rather than the ground being above you. Good morning to you. Finding a refuge. That is our daily bread for this day, the 7th day of September, 2022. Good morning, Montgomery. It's time to rise and shine.
Welcome to Our Daily Bread. I'm Sheridan Boise, and I've called today's devotional Finding Refuge. My wife and I once stayed in a lovely old seaside hotel with large sash windows and thick stone walls. One afternoon, a storm ripped through the region, churning up the sea and pounding our windows like angry fists on a door. Yet we were at peace. Those walls were so strong, and the hotel's foundations so solid. While storms raged outside, our room was a refuge. Refuge is an important theme in Scripture, starting with God Himself. You have been a refuge for the poor, Isaiah says of God, a refuge for the needy in their distress, a shelter from the storm. In addition, refuge is something God's people were and are to provide, whether through Israel's ancient cities of refuge or by offering hospitality to foreigners in need. These same principles can guide us today when humanitarian crises hit our world. In such times, we pray that the God of refuge would use us, His people, to help the vulnerable find safety. The storm that hit our hotel was gone the following morning, leaving us with a calm sea and a warm sun that made the seagulls glow. It's an image I hold on to as I think of those facing natural disasters or fleeing ruthless regimes, that the God of refuge would empower us to help them find safety now and a brighter tomorrow. Today's scripture reading is from Isaiah chapter 25, verses 1 to 8. Lord, you are my God. I will exalt you and praise your name. For in perfect faithfulness you have done wonderful things, things planned long ago. You have made the city a heap of rubble, the fortified town a ruin, the foreigner's stronghold a city no more, it will never be rebuilt. Therefore, strong peoples will honor you. Cities of ruthless nations will revere you. You have been a refuge for the poor, a refuge for the needy in their distress, a shelter from the storm and a shade from the heat. For the breath of the ruthless is like a storm driving against a wall, and like the heat of the desert. You silence the uproar of foreigners. As heat is reduced by the shadow of a cloud, so the song of the ruthless is stilled. On this mountain the Lord Almighty will prepare a feast of rich food for all peoples, a banquet of aged wine, the best of meats and the finest of wines. On this mountain He will destroy the shroud that enfolds all peoples, the sheet that covers all nations. He will swallow up death forever. The sovereign Lord will wipe away the tears from all faces. He will remove His people's disgrace from all the earth. The Lord has spoken. Let's pray together. Lord, it seems like every week we're hearing of another natural disaster or another brutal regime that is leaving so many people homeless and afraid. We long for that day when you throw a banquet for all peoples and wipe away every tear. God of refuge, until that day comes, would you empower us, your children, to help the needy find refuge and a bright new future. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thanks for listening. I'm Sheridan Boise, and today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
All righty then.
Chorus. Oh, teach. Who? Airborne. Here we go. Here we go. All the way. All the way. Gotta be.
Rough and tough. Airborne.
Airborne. Every day. Every day. We run.
To the sun.
No sweat.
Not yet.
Down in the mess hall on my knees. Down in.
Well, it's time to rise and shine, Montgomery, Alabama. It's time to get up. Let's go to work. We ain't retired yet. You know darn well that you can't eat that.
Hey, you know darn well that you can't eat that. Here we go.
Here we go.
All the way. All the way. Gotta be. Rough and tough. Airborne.
All the way.
All the way.
When I was young, I always wanted to be in the 82nd Airborne. Needs a breeze. Now that I'm here, I'm gonna do it right. Jump from an aircraft while in flight.
All the way, airborne, all the way, driving on, all the way, airborne.
Where else can you get a wake-up call like this?
Early one morning.
In drizzling rain, well, I picked up my parachute and boarded the plane. Jump master said 1 minute to go. Green light grows in the golden glow.
All the way,
Oh, yeah.
airborne, all the way, driving on, all the way, airborne, all the way, driving on.
Driving on.
Here we go.
All the way.
Gotta be
rough and tough. Airborne. All the way. All right. Time for PT. You know what time it is? What's today? Wednesday? One more day of PT, and then we can call it a week. All right. I know. I got to get up. There we go.
Hard work.
Hard work. Okay. Hard work. That's what they say. I get up by the 2:45 and earn my pay. And go to work. Hard work. That's what they say. Hard work. Coffee break. Make the call. Let's go to work. That's what they say. Hard work and earn my pay. Hard work. Hard work. That's what they say. Hard work. I'm ready to rock. Hard work. I'm earning my pay. Hard work. That's what they say. Hard work. Woo! We're going on out. Hard work. And go to work. On the airplane. In the early morning rain. Coffee break. Hard work. Let me hear. Hard work. Turn it up. Hard work. Hard work. Hard work. Sit them on down. The engines are on. Woo! The mission is going. Hard work. That's what you say. Is it over yet? Okay. All right. Hard work. Woo! Okay. That PT's getting longer and longer. But right now, we pay homage to all of our armed forces of these United States of America. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and Space Force. And, of course, we pay homage to our local warriors, our Montgomery Sanitation Department, our Montgomery Police Department, the Sheriff Department, ALEA, and Alabama National Guard, which is headquarters right here in the city when I go down there sometimes and fake like I'm in the Army still. And, we have a good time down there. Good morning, First Sergeant. All right, now, let's get it done this morning. Wait a minute, wait a minute. I hadn't said good morning to the mayor yet. Gotta say good morning to the mayor, the Honorable Stephen Reed. I know you guys think I don't like that. I like Stephen. Yeah, we just disagree politically, but personally, I think he's a swell guy. I just got to get him out of that Democratic Party. But I don't think that's going to happen. And I do have cappuccino this morning. Cappuccino, that's right. I'm sophisticated now. I'm not drinking regular coffee. I am drinking cappuccino. I don't exactly know what it is, but that's what the rich people drink in New York on, 42nd Street and stuff like that. So I'm just saying, I'm hanging out with them now. Hell, I can't even spell cappuccino. But it sure tastes good. And last but certainly not least, their motto is Semper Fidelis, or Semper Fi, if you're the Marines. But it all means the same thing. So whether you say Semper Fi or Semper Fidelis, it means always, always faithful. Good morning to you, jarheads. I almost was a Marine, I'm just saying. I've been trying to figure out how to get me a set of them dress blues. I haven't come up with a great idea yet. All right then. Now, good morning. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing well. It's 6:29 in the morning, and I hope you guys are feeling it. Feeling pretty good and everything. I'm feeling pretty good, as you can tell. I'll always feel pretty good, except when the days I don't, which thank God it's been rare. But I know that as you rise in this thing called life, you it may happen one day. But I'll still show up for work. Okay, maybe I will. Maybe I won't. I don't know. Depends on how bad it is. Anyway, good morning to you. Hope this day finds you well. I was thinking. Okay, never mind. I'll get to that in the 7 o'clock hour. Because I was really thinking about something that happened in the city a long time ago, and for some reason, this city refuses to deal with it, and but we'll get to that next hour because and we keep putting it on the back burner, and it doesn't go away. It does not go away. It won't ever go away as long as the city of Montgomery is still on charter. And I just can't, for the life of me, everybody in this city should want this thing to be resolved, because right now it hasn't been resolved. And since we live in a society right now that everybody wants to be woke, WOKE, I don't know exactly what that means. I guess since that's where we are in our society today, everybody want to be woke. Everybody want to fix the past, but they want to fix the distant past. I'd be satisfied if they would fix a past that's not so distant. And but we'll get to that. We'll get to that today. Hopefully we'll get to that today because I'm perplexed. Everybody wants to fix what happened to somebody a long time ago. Okay, some longer than others. Okay, I think every time I hear the Civil War and all that stuff brought up, I'm like, well, hey, I'm at nausea, brother. That's what 150 years ago, 155 years ago, something like that. But well, you're gonna know what I'm talking about here in a minute. I do not understand why some things get the abundance of attention, other things, which I think are a little bit more important because they affect people's lives today, doesn't seem to get that kind of importance. I'm just saying, I'm just saying, I'm just speaking out loud. Of course, if I wasn't speaking out loud, I wouldn't be speaking. No. So anyway, but I'll tell you what that is because I was sitting there last night doing a little preparatory stuff, doing a little prep and looking at the news and looking at all the things in this world that goes wrong every day. Not really paying attention to it, but there's some good news out there too. Though there are a lot of good news out there. I'm gonna get to some of that today. But there's an issue that Montgomery has not dealt with, and it was called Alabama's Watergate in 1977. But I, for the life of me, I do not know why they have not dealt with this issue. And I'm telling you, ignoring it is not going to make it go away. Okay, I think most of you probably know where I'm headed with this, but I'll make it more pronounced in the 7 o'clock hour because there are a lot of things in life we can't do anything about. Okay, but since we're in the mode right now in America to fix what happened in the past, well, there are a lot of things we cannot fix. There are a lot of things we cannot fix. But this one particular thing, we can't fix it, but we can certainly address it. And it's almost as if people have been told not to address it. I guess it'll stir up some bad memories or something. I'm not sure why we won't address it, but we won't. And but I'm going to. I'm going to because if you making cornbread, let's put it this way: if you're making cornbread and you put some spoiled milk in the cornbread, you can't cut around spoiled milk in the cornbread. Okay, you feel me? I ain't heard that word in a long time. You feel me? Yeah, you can't cut around spoiled milk in cornbread. If you got bad milk in cornbread, what must you do? That's right. You start over with some better milk. Okay, so you can't cut around spoiled milk in cornbread. And this city has been trying to cut around spoiled milk for years. And it's not happening. So anyway, let me go to a break and then we'll come back with lessons of life and today in history and the word of the day. The word of the day. The word of the day is a good word. Okay? It's a word that you will impress the hell out of somebody today if you learn how to use this word correctly. Okay, you'll be okay. You'll be all right. All right then. So let me take a break. We'll come back. It's 6:35 in the morning. If you have to be there at 7 o'clock, you got exactly 25 minutes by which to reach your destination. But remember, it's not the destination that's important. It's the journey. Well, I like to say that anyway because it sounds good. I mean, it does. It sounds really good. Yeah, it's not the destination that's important, but it's the journey. Okay, I mean, it sounds good, although sometimes the destination is somewhat important. Okay, so let me take a break, and we shall return uno momento. All right. So let me turn this down right here. A little TD Jakes in the background there. Okay. I love when that guy speaks. I just didn't like him at all. I thought all he was doing was collecting money, which he still might be collecting a little money. But I think his words are strong. Well, I must be growing up, good and old. We'll be back right after this. Search down deep
within yourself. Oh, make it medicine for someone else, someone else.
Your WSFA First Alert Weather Forecast on News Radio 1440.
Sponsored by Publix Supermarkets. Start saving on all the grocery items you love at Publix. From weekly sales and digital coupons to buy one, get one promotions, you can always find more ways to save. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
A chance of scattered showers and a few thunderstorms later this afternoon into this evening. Coverage today will be around 40%, really peaking between roughly 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock this evening. Only a 40% chance, so certainly not everyone sees it. Otherwise, muggy, highs near 90. It will be in the upper 80s again tomorrow to pushing 90. Partly to mostly cloudy with a few late day into the evening showers and storms Thursday. Better rain chance for everyone Friday. That's your First Alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Right now, your good news continues. Your Wednesday hump day is
Hump day.
so far so good.
Hump day. Hump day.
Reinhardt
Hump day.
Car Supercenter has over 30 Toyota Camrys, the #1 selling car in America. Your good credit and no money down gets you on the road today. Reinhardt Used Car Supercenter on the East Boulevard. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
Attention River Region listeners, take advantage of 4 new tires with no money down at Chico's Auto Pros, Montgomery's #1 rated tire store. Chico's Auto Pros.
While the new Warner Brothers fighting game Multiverses is seeing great success, the competitive side of the game took a hit this week due to a glitch. In the first full update of the game, the spectator mode was accidentally disabled. While it doesn't sound like a big deal, this has halted most tournament play, including Esports Pro, Hungry Box's tournament, stalling the expansion of the young and growing esport. Warner Brothers is aware of the issue and currently trying to fix it.
Wendy's new French toast sticks are so delicious, some are saying that they're better than their mom's breakfast.
Excuse me, did you just say Wendy's new French toast sticks are better than my breakfast?
Mom, is that you?
Answer the question.
I said some people are saying that because they're so crispy on the outside and fluffy on the inside and perfect in every way.
And what do you think?
I think it's time to tell people to choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new sweet and crispy home-style French toast sticks.
That's still not an answer.
Participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Attorney spokesperson of Case Legal Media is responsible for the content of this ad. Attention, all military members or military families or contractors that spent time at Marine Base Camp Lejeune. If you or a family member have lived, worked, or served at Camp Lejeune at any time from 1953 to 1987, you may be entitled to significant cash compensation. Call 800-320-9047 now to see if you qualify. That's right. Marines, their families, employees, contractors, and anyone who lived, worked, or served at Camp Lejeune may be entitled to significant cash compensation. Studies have found the water at Camp Lejeune was contaminated with toxic chemicals for decades, causing serious health conditions such as cancer, Parkinson's, leukemia, and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Congress has approved, and President Biden has signed a new law allowing anyone that spent time at the base to seek the justice they deserve. Billions have been set aside for victims of toxic water claims. If you or a loved one was at Camp Lejeune at any time through 1987 and developed a serious health condition, you or your family may be entitled to significant cash compensation. Hurry, time is limited. Call 800-320-9047. That's 800-320-9047. 800-320-9047.
When it's time to get a new vehicle, Larry Puckett Chevrolet is the best place to find your new Chevy or a great used car. New cars, SUVs, and trucks are being delivered daily, and Larry Puckett has their largest selection of pre-owned vehicles in over a year. Check them out online at LarryPuckett.com or visit them on Cobbs Ford Road in Prattville. And if you have an extra vehicle, bring it in for an instant cash offer. Whether you're selling or trading, your vehicle will never be worth more. Larry Puckett Chevrolet, where the customers do the talking.
Mike Costanza with Chappie's Deli.
And Jeff Baranko with Chappie's Deli.
What are you eating, Jeff?
Chappie's Deli.
I don't know,
sweet
Jeff.
Potato fries.
They are so good. People eat them all the time. Jeff, what are you humming?
Just thinking. You know how we get phone calls after I sing in the commercials?
But they aren't good phone calls. Don't do this.
Sweet potato fries. Dun, dun, dun. French fries never tasted so good.
Please, I'm begging.
I'd eat mine. Dun, dun, dun. Every day if I could.
Folks, come get your sweet potato fries with no singing at any Chappie's Deli. Berry Hill, Pepper Tree, Baptist South, Prattville, and Auburn.
Join Sean Hannity Sundays at 3 p.m. for the Encore Show.
Chinese, the Russians, don't fear Joe Biden.
On News Radio 1440.
Okay, we're back. Good morning. Right now it is 6:42 in the morning, and you know what time it is? It's time for the lessons of life and the word of the day. And it's just a little feature here. Lesson of life are the things you learn by living. You can't. I mean, you can hear about them your whole life, but you don't know what it means until you've actually been through some things. Okay, you know, you got to have some TIL, some time in life. In the military, we call that time in grade and time in service. Well, we're talking about time in life. Okay, this is the civilian version of the promotions, of the promotion thing here. Okay, so first of all, it is a great day to be alive. It is a great day to be on top of the ground, and the ground's not on top of you. Thank God for that this morning. Before you do anything, that's the first thing you should have done this morning when you got out of bed. Okay, just thank the good Lord you were still here, because wasn't guaranteed. So trust me, that's the first things I do when I get up every morning. First of all, I'm glad to be able to get up. Okay, so anyway, so what is the word of the day? Now the word of the day is a word that I have been literally associated with. But this is also a word, if you get a counseling session or you get a written counseling statement, and if you see this word, that means you may have to find a new job pretty soon to change your ways. This is a serious word, okay? And you don't really want to see this on your evaluation. Okay, so when I go down to the hall down there with the big guy in the big hall, the big windows down there, and he says, Elkins, you know, there have been some complaints that you are this word. And so I know at that particular moment that I either got to clean off my desk or get my act together. Okay, so I guess you're saying, what is the word? Well, you know, so you probably figured it out already. But you ever have that guy in the office or that woman in the office that just tick everybody off? I mean, really, nobody likes her. When she goes to lunch, she got to go in the bathroom because nobody wants to sit by her. I mean, or him. You know what I'm saying? Okay. When they open their mouth, everybody wants to put their hands in their ears because they just can't handle it. Okay. Well, the word, my friend, is abrasive. 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 So, little Johnny, if you want to complain about somebody in your classroom that's a pain in the butt, bothering you all the time, you can just go up to Mr. Johnson and say, Mr. Johnson, Elkins is abrasive. Now, he'll be so impressed that you know that word until he's going to call me up there to the front of the classroom and probably, you know, give me the what for and the what as and what happened. I'm just saying. So you might want to use that word. First of all, you want to impress the hell out of your teacher, and they certainly will do something about it. I'm just saying. So say, Mr. Johnson, Elkins is the most abrasive person in here. And what does abrasive mean? Well, literally, it means causing damage or wearing by rubbing, grinding, or scraping. But figuratively, it is used to describe people or things that are unpleasant or irritating, which is some of y'all. And in some instances, it has been me too. So, hey, nobody's perfect. All right, then that's how we roll. So abrasive is the word of the day, which figuratively means it is used to describe people or things that are unpleasant or irritating. So run that by your teacher, you know, today, and I guarantee you will get first of all, they're going to look at you, glad you know the word, and then secondarily, they'll do something about it because they say, hey, listen, if a guy can use this word, he can probably write a letter to the principal. I'm just saying, you might want to impress them with your verbal skills this morning, okay? If somebody is abrasive, okay? Now, here is the lesson of life. This is something that you learn by living and by going and living and losing. Okay, now this is serious. This is something you learn by living and losing. And if you got some age on you, we all have lost something or somebody. We have. We've all been there. We've all, Jimmy Valvano once said, every day, you should laugh, you should think, and you should cry. And you know, he said, if you do all of that in one day, you have had an astronomical day. So where am I going with this? And I've had days. I have had days like that. And if you've lived a while, you've lost someone, you lost that. Trust me, you've had them too. You have cried, you have laughed, and then you've sat back and you have thought. Well, I have thought about this situation on many occasions, and the way I deal with it is like this. We don't cry because the journey is over. We hold on to the love even more because the journey happened. Although we are human beings and we miss people and things, sometimes we spend too much time worrying about the loss rather than remembering the journey. So it is only my suggestion. It is only my suggestion. But hold on to the journey. Because that's where the love and the memories and the great times and some bad times, that's where it lives. So I'm just telling you, you might want to handle it a little bit different, at least try to. Again, each day you should think, you should cry a little, and you should laugh a little. And if you do that, well, you've had one hell of a day. Okay? So don't cry or be sad because the journey is over. Hold on to the love even more because the journey happened. Okay? All right then. Because when you go cross country, like driving from Fort Bragg to Fort Lewis, I did a couple of times all by myself. I know. I'm a guy that can't go over bridges, right? I don't know. I don't know what happened to me. I got old. I couldn't. But I drove all alone through the mountains of Snohomish Mountains to Washington State to Utah to all kind of places, and I remembered. I don't really remember getting there or leaving there, but I remember almost every place I went to get there. And it was an extraordinary journey when you're doing that by yourself, walking right across country by yourself. But I had a 1979 Cougar. Man, that was a great car. Anyway, 8-cylinder engine in it. Oh man, I was rolling. And when you look out there on the hood, you got a little emblem of a Cougar. Man, what a great car that was. Man, I tell you. Anyway, so much for that. All right then. Okay, so that is the lesson of life. Okay, it is the journey of life where the memories lie. Remember that. All right then. You got word of the day, abrasive, which means literally you're a pain in the butt to everybody. Okay, you're unpleasant and you're irritating. But let's go to some nice things now. Today is September the 7th. It is the 250th day. There, believe it or not, are only 115 days left. On September the 7th, 1977, which is this day, the Panama Canal Treaties calling for the U.S. to eventually turn over control of the waterways of Panama were signed by President Jimmy Carter and the Panamanian leader Omar Torrijos, or close to it. 1892 on this day, James J. Colbert knocked out John L. Sullivan to win the World Heavyweight crown in New Orleans in a fight conducted under the Marquis of Queensberry rules, which I don't have a clue what that is. Well, I don't think you have on gloves that day. 1901, the peace of Beijing ended the Boxer Rebellion in China, whatever that was. 1940, Nazi Germany began its 8th-month blitz of Britain during World War II with the first air attack on London. Now's the time to be living someplace else. 1963, the National Professional Football League Hall of Fame was dedicated in Canton, Ohio. Why Canton, Ohio? I had to put it someplace. 1972, the International Olympic Committee banned Vince Matthews and Wayne Collett of the U.S. for further competition for talking, for talking to each other on the victory stand in Munich during the Star Spangled Banner. That's right. We had a little respect for the flag back then days. Yeah. After winning gold and silver medals. But those are the rules. Those are just the rules. You can't be sitting up there, flapping your lips. You got to be. First of all, it's called humility. You know what I'm saying? You give everybody a little respect there, because, you don't make it to the Olympics being a wuss. So everybody deserves a little respect, and somebody's got to win, and somebody's got to lose, and they don't want you up there putting it all in their face. I can live with that. Okay, kind of like me. When I walk down the street, I see the ladies looking, but I don't turn around. I don't turn around and flap about it. I'm the man. They say, there goes the man. I don't turn around and, trying to, brag about it, nothing like that. I'm just saying. 1996, rapper Tupac Shakur was shot and mortally wounded in Los Angeles Strip, and nobody has figured out who did it yet. He died 6 days later. Now he was a rapper. He was actually a rapper that I kind of liked. I could understand at least what he was saying. He did. I don't think he was doing all that cussing and stuff either. I mean, he had some words. Oh, he cussed him? Oh, well, I must have missed that song. Okay, but at least when he cussed you out, you know what he was saying because he said it nicely. Okay, if there is such a thing, being cussed out nicely. 2005, police and soldiers went house to house in New Orleans to try to coax the last stubborn holdouts and leaving the city shattered by Hurricane Katrina. I never will forget this one image of that time. There was a woman who weighed 400 pounds. It took a helicopter to lift her like she was a cow to get out of her house. Now, ladies and gentlemen, listen. I put on a little weight for a minute or two in my time too. Okay, I got you. But if you're sitting in the house getting to be 400 pounds, don't complain to me about food stamps because you eat too much as it is. But that's a shame. I mean, 400, it took a helicopter to get her out the house. What? Come on, man. There ain't nothing that good. Nothing except maybe, and this is the only exception, a really nice tender fried pork chop. Okay? But you know how many pork chops you got to eat before you get to 400 pounds? I'm just, and it was just embarrassing to see that, Unlike Donald, I get embarrassed by things that other people do that have my complexion. It just embarrassed me. Okay, she was a sister girl, but I'm hoping she lost some of that weight by now. In 2007, Osama bin Laden appeared in a video for the first time in 3 years, telling Americans they should convert to Islam if they wanted the war to end in Iraq. Well, I don't know if many Americans converted to Islam, but I don't know though. He may have a point because we kind of still over there indirectly. 2008, troubled mortgage giants Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Now I actually thought these were people. Okay, I thought Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac was people, and I tried to call them. When trying to buy a house, I thought they were real people. I mean, okay, a man and a woman, Fannie and Freddie. I thought they were okay. I know it's embarrassing that's a little too much information. But listen, think about this: Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. That's people. I mean, okay. Well, I didn't name them. Anyway, and troubled mortgage giants Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac were placed in government conservatorship. Okay, so I'm thinking Fannie and Freddie couldn't handle their money. But that's okay. Obviously, I was a little bit wrong on I was a little wrong on that one. Okay, then. Now, in 2017, more than 500,000 people were ordered to leave South Florida as Hurricane Irma approached. Georgia's governor ordered nearly 540,000 coastal residents to move inland. One of the most powerful earthquakes ever recorded in Mexico struck off the county's southern coast, toppling hundreds of buildings and killing at least 90 people. A deadlier quake would strike Mexico nearly 2 weeks later. And those are some of the things that happened on this day in the world. Now, you know, okay, I don't really feel bad for people who live in Florida who build their house right on the ocean. Okay, yeah, a great view. I lived in Honolulu. One of the reasons why I left Honolulu, because I lived right on the ocean. And every morning I got up, I lived in a place called Makaha. And every morning I woke up saying, what if the water comes down? And I look out there and there's a tsunami, okay, headed my way. Yes, the only thing I could do is put my head between my legs and kiss my butt goodbye. And so I did not want to do that. So one morning I woke up, the ocean was just calm, it was just cool, and then Pele. And then now we got volcanoes on a big island, which are going on. So I said, okay, all right then. So in 2 weeks, I thought about that for 2 weeks. One morning I got up, put all my stuff in a bag. I'm gone. That's right, because if they're gonna get me, they're gonna get me running. Well, on that island, there ain't too many places to run. Even if you got a car, all you can do is go in a circle. So I decided it was time to leave. So I went back to Seattle. Okay, and then of course Seattle. Then Mount St. Helens blew up. So I don't know. You know, I guess you can't really run from it, can you? No, it is what it is. Oh well, I gotta go. So we'll be back in a few minutes, hopefully.
Never a dull moment.
Williams with WSFA 12 News. Here's what's happening this Wednesday.
Really
A vote from the State Board of Education.
Hopefully you're not that dumb, but it's entertaining. But please, you are so self-deprecating that I don't know how far you will go.
Pike Road is confirmed a new restaurant will be located in the Pike Road Station Shopping Center on Bond Road.
But I wouldn't be surprised if you did think that.
We're 30 days out from the fall, the Alabama National Fair. This year, there will be new shows and security procedures, including a policy that requires everyone 17 or younger to be accompanied by a parent or guardian. The Alabama National Fair will be held at Garrett Coliseum October 7th through the 16th. I'm Jasmine Williams with WSFA 12 News, and these are your
characteristics of one gender.
News Radio 1440 is WLWI-AM and 95.1 HD3 FM of Montgomery, a Cumulus media station.
This is the CBS World News Roundup, sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Californians are still sweltering, some in 100-plus degree heat. So far, they've avoided widespread blackouts, but warnings are out to keep conserving or they'll become a reality. Correspondent Carter Evans is in Los Angeles.
With temperatures soaring across California, schools without air conditioning in one northern city are canceling afternoon classes for the rest of the week.
The classrooms are saying about 84, 85 degrees.
The need to conserve electricity is vital, says California Governor Gavin Newsom.
We're heading to the worst part of this heat wave, and the risk for outages is real and it's immediate.
More than a dozen large wildfires are still burning across the state. At least 4 people have been killed. The Washington Post is reporting some of the documents confiscated at former President Trump's estate in Palm Beach contain information about another country's nuclear secrets. Correspondent Catherine Herridge.
Experts said it will be important to know if the military defense intelligence is about an adversary or a friendly nation, because gathering on our partners is done, but considered extremely sensitive.
The UN's nuclear agency is urging a safety zone be set up immediately around the Russian-occupied Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant in southern Ukraine. Rafael Grossi heads the International Atomic Energy Agency.
The hits that this facility has received and that I could personally see and assess together with my experts is simply unacceptable.
Inspectors say security is being undermined by constant shelling. Kids in Seattle were supposed to head back to classrooms, but first day photos will have to wait because teachers have gone on strike. It's a disappointment for fifth grader Scarlett Meyer.
I'm kind of sad because I was excited for my first day of school.
Teachers are demanding better pay and conditions for students. Apple introduces its new iPhone 14 in a few hours. CNET's Ian Schur says it's expected to include a much better camera and a screen that doesn't shut off.
This always on-screen technology, which Apple's been offering in its Apple Watches for several years now, allows the company to offer simple information when the screen would normally be turned off and still make it useful.
More workers are phoning it in. Beyonce was onto something. New research from Gallup shows quiet quitters now make up half the workforce. They admit they're actively disengaged, unhappy about their jobs, and resentful that employers aren't meeting their needs. People under 35 report the sharpest drop. S&P futures down 2. This is CBS News.
This hour's newscast is presented by Rocket Mortgage. Need to know what it takes for a home loan to fit your budget and your family? Rocket can.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search
Army.
results? Call Reputation.
U.S. paratrooper veteran.
That's right.
681. Reputation to fix
Only one in the city, baby. Only
You
one.
have so much pushback on there. Well, it's not that you have so much, but there are some people who are so adamant about it.
I know.
What? I mean, you don't get a lot of pushback, but I'm just
Well, you
saying.
get some.
Why is that? I mean, that's
I think it's jealous.
that's the first time I've ever seen that.
I think it's jealous.
Jealous of what?
I don't know.
Your best foot forward.
I mean,
Jealous because I
what?
talk about it. There's only 10% of the men in America that ever served in the military, and the number for us paratroopers is certainly a hell of a lot smaller than that. So, it's a unique. It takes a unique individual to stand in the door of an aircraft and jump out, not knowing whether or not it's strapped on open or not.
Right. But and I understand. You sound like what I'll say is a typical Marine. We're in, and I don't take this offensively. I mean it to be complimentary, because once a Marine, always a Marine.
Mm-hmm.
When you talk to a Marine, you can tell you're talking to a Marine because they have instilled in them what it means to be a Marine. And that's the way you sound.
That's right.
You get what I'm saying?
But that's
Well,
what
I'm
most of
saying,
us grow
in
up.
other words, the military had a way of making everyone feel that what you was doing was necessary and you should be proud of what you're doing, because they're asking you to take your life in your hands.
That's right.
And they are going to be responsible for you, and they're going to try and help you as best they can. But if you don't make it,
That's your job.
that's the job.
That's your job.
And as far as I know, that's what the military has always done.
And it's the only job in
But
America.
the only time I've ever heard any pushback in my life about someone complaining about a veteran saying something
But guess what?
is
though?
you on this show.
I'm the only veteran that's actually on the radio. Am I right?
Well, it's kind of hard to believe.
It may be hard to believe, but I'm known. Well,
But there are so many.
Roscoe, I think, had served in Fort Sill, Oklahoma, but I don't even think he went overseas or anything. But he was in. There are very many. Nobody in TV, nobody in radio. Me and I think Roscoe.
I think you're kind of rubbing it in a way. Yeah, and that offends because there are a lot of veterans. Because like most of the guys 10 years older than me are veterans.
Right, because that was the only opportunity.
Tracy Locken, John Knight. You can just go down the list of guys who are 10 years
Now,
older than me.
I can't hold a candle to John.
Yeah, they're all.
John received the Silver Star, and he never really talked about it.
No. And you know what? I guess that's what offends people, that people who really do things are humble.
Yeah, I heard it. And some of us ain't humble because I've done things.
And I guess, I think that kind of says it when you, it's just, I guess it's like this, because 50-50 went through a lot.
Right.
And I guess it.
But that was his generation he was in. I mean, we all went through something.
Well, you have nothing. You have
Well,
no
I-
understanding of that.
Yeah,
That was totally different.
Well, it was totally different, but I had my own obstacles that I had to deal with, especially being in the Rangers. It was being called the N-word, given extra, been all just treated badly sometimes. But I wanted to be there. And so you volunteered for it, you know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I don't know if 50-50 was drafted or not, but I do know one thing: to attain the rank he did at the time he did it was almost unheard of, because he had to be promoted by the same people who for the most part didn't really give a crap about him.
Yeah.
So he had to be excellent at what he did.
Yeah, he was excellent at what he did.
Excellent at what he did.
In other words, he earned the position.
Yeah, he did. They didn't give it
It
to
wasn't
him.
given to him. He earned it.
They didn't give it to
And
him.
I guess that's why he gets it, because it was hard. And I see his point of view and I see yours, but I understand both. Whether I agree with either one of them, is irrelevant, because I'm neither one.
But
wow.
I truly
But I
respect
hear it,
him.
but it's I'm like, dang, where did that come from?
But again, I'm the only guy not and I'm the only guy ever jumped out of an airplane on the airways of my government. Only one. So hey, it's a unique position to be in. I'm a paratrooper. Hey, you know, I'm the man.
Yeah, there's still a lot of them around.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
You just want one on the radio.
I'm just right. There are plenty around. Not plenty, because you know.
Yeah.
Not plenty, brother. There's some. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Hope that day finds you well. Finds you feeling stupendous this morning. As long as you don't represent that word abrasive, like that was the word of the day. I have a tendency to do that sometimes. So does my guest.
No, I wouldn't describe.
Yeah, I would.
No,
Yeah.
I would describe you as abrasive, but not me.
Well, I wouldn't expect the abraser to describe itself as abrasive.
No, I don't intentionally.
Oh, okay.
I don't intentionally.
Well, qualified.
There you go.
Yeah, qualified. Yeah.
You intentionally.
Well, I mean,
do that.
Not necessarily.
And I make it clear every week.
Yeah.
You always say you're right and the other person's wrong. I've never said that.
Never said what?
That whatever you say is right, and if you disagree with the other person, they're wrong.
No, disagreement doesn't make you wrong. But if what you say wrong is wrong, then we got to call it wrong.
No, there again, it's perception.
Yeah, but you can think you're a biscuit.
And that's perception.
But that don't make you a biscuit.
But that is perception. And I don't argue. If a person has their perception, I don't argue.
Shouldn't perception be based on some rational, reasonable?
It should be.
Something.
But it's based on information that you know. I'll give you a perfect example. You always talk about, and he is the most, I think, controversial person in the United States is the former president.
Mm-hmm.
The way you talk about him is your perception of him, the way you perceive him to be. And then when people disagree with him, he is abrasive, and he calls them names. He puts adjectives on them. If they merely
he does.
And if someone tells him a fact,
mm-hmm.
he will disagree with it and call that person names, and that's abrasive. That's he is the definition of abrasive.
That is. But I like abrasive. I like abrasive people. That don't bother me at all.
I don't like that attitude because it doesn't accomplish anything. All you do is insult people.
Well, sometimes we be nice if people don't accomplish anything. So
no, you don't ever have to be abrasive.
Yeah, we do.
No, we don't.
See, that's an opinion you got.
That's my opinion.
Okay, so my opinion is sometimes you got to slap people so they know you're there.
No, if you tell the truth, they may not like what you say, but they know you're there. You don't have to be abrasive. Yeah. Abrasive is especially when you give adjectives to people, but they adjectives just to describe them when they're just a person just like you, and you just have a name. That's very abrasive. Okay. You don't have to do that. Okay. You do that quite a bit.
Yeah, but I tell the truth.
No, it's an opinion. If a person disagrees with you on an issue, you call them, "Oh, you're just a Democrat." No, there's no such thing.
All of us believe in a certain philosophy.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We all believe. Yes, Donald, we do. We all.
We don't even think about it.
I didn't say we thought about it. We all believe in the things that we've gone through that made us who we are.
I disagree with you on that. Here's what you call Republican a philosophy and Democrat a philosophy. It is not. There is no Republican philosophy.
Right. Those people in those parties have a philosophical look at life from their own lenses. Yes, they do.
They have a popular view of life.
It's still a philosophy.
See, the difference between you and I is I remember when every Democrat in the state of Alabama, every Democrat in the state of Alabama elected to a position, was not the same Democrats as you have. They are now Republicans. Because in 1968, who did the state of Alabama nominate for the presidency?
I don't know.
Okay. Hubert Humphrey won the nomination that year. State of Alabama did not nominate him. You know who they nominated? George C. Wallace. So the Dixiecrats are not the same as the Democrats of today. The Republicans of today, a lot of them have the same, what you call philosophy, and those are popular beliefs. And that is not a Democratic thing or a Republican.
I didn't say philosophy had anything to do with Democrats or Republicans, but they all believe in something. And here's the definition, and I knew it was right. What is the definition of philosophy? Quite literally, the term philosophy, which means for the love of wisdom, is a broad sense. Philosophy is a activity of people that people undertake when they seek to understand fundamental truth about themselves, the world in which they live, and their relationships to the world and each other.
Yeah, and that's philosophy, and that's not
we all. I didn't call it. But we all live by philosophy.
The
we
way
all
you got here. Is I was saying, you misname people quite frequently when you say, "Oh, you're just a Democrat," and there's no such thing as a Democratic philosophy and a Republican philosophy.
But there are people with certain philosophies who are Democrats and who are Republicans,
and that's personal.
Well,
that's not
okay.
philosophical.
Let me tell you what some of the philosophical things are about being a Democrat that I've learned. Government's role, it's far exceeded in the Democratic philosophy than our founding fathers wanted it to be. They believe that government has a more of a role in our lives. The government is the answer to almost every problem, which the government is the cause of any problem.
Republicans do the same thing.
Republicans believe, this is what they say they believe, that the less government, the better off we are.
I'll give you a perfect example where that is hypocritical. Okay.
I didn't say they were hypocrites.
Yeah. You see, if you deal with the issue of abortion, that is an issue that is on a religious basis. That is not a philosophical belief. It is religious. Because different religions believe different things. In other words, there are two beliefs on the sanctity of life. There are those who believe that an embryo, when a pregnant woman is pregnant, that is a potential life.
They're right.
Okay. Then there are those who believe that is a life.
They're right.
Okay. So, okay, I'll agree with you. Both of them are correct. But if you're so adamant on one side that you say that if you believe it is just potential life and you cannot end that potential life, and that's what people who have abortions believe. They believe it is a potential life and not an actual life.
Because they need to some way to satisfy but they satisfy their conscience
but that is
by
not
saying that.
But what I'm saying is Republicans fall down that line, a lot of them, and a lot of them don't. But those who don't go down that line don't say anything because that is the popular belief in the Republican Party, which is a religious belief and not a philosophy, not a political.
It's philosophy. A biological belief. It is a belief that has been cemented.
Here's what I'm saying. Okay, I believe that it is a life. Now that's my belief.
All right.
Now, if you believe it is potential life, that is your belief. So we come from two different perspectives on the same issue. Now, factually, we're both correct. It is a potential life, and it actually is a life. Now, how are you perceive,
it can't
how
be
you
both.
perceive that?
It can't be both.
That's what I'm saying. Here you go. Here's what I'm saying. That's where those who believe it is a potential life, and they say, well, if this woman is raped and she is pregnant, that is a potential life that she does not want to carry, and she has an abortion. Okay? Then there are, on the Republican side, there are a lot who say, no, you can't do that because it is a life. Those are beliefs, okay? That is not a philosophy. That is personal.
But it is a philosophy.
It is not a philosophy.
It is. Yes, it is.
Philosophy
if they believe
is universal.
And most people who have that belief.
And religion is personal.
Yeah, but
there are people who believe in this country one thing, and there are people who believe another.
But it's scientific.
So it is not.
Got nothing to do with religion.
We're not talking about science right now. we're talking
How can
about.
how can you leave one out?
Because that's not what they use. They don't say it's science.
Because life is a process.
Potential life. Okay.
Life is a process.
When does a person get a Social Security card?
After the child is born.
There you go.
Right, and
so
I get
legally, that's not a person.
But a child can't be born unless he goes through the process.
So technically, a person is not a person. That is not a person. That is a potential person, legally. So we're not talking about science.
Well, legally,
when we're talking about government, what we strictly deal with is legal and illegal. Because there's a woman who said, you know, she got in the lane where they had multiple people are in the car.
Right.
She was pregnant. She said, well, it's two people. I'm in the car and I'm pregnant. So I said, no, you're now it becomes a potential life. So you're breaking the law because there's no one in that car but you. She said, no, I'm pregnant. There's someone else in here. You get what I'm saying? So we're talking about legal and illegal, not religion and not science. There's a difference.
Well, how can you?
The law is not based on science. We're talking about the law. The government is not based on science.
Yeah. Well, Ronald Reagan once said that it was a time in America when our laws were predicated on the things we believe morally.
No, it wasn't.
That's what he said.
Ronald Reagan lied.
Well, I mean,
slavery wasn't based on a moral belief.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
so that he lied.
Well, somebody's morals.
He lied. Okay.
Good morning. Who's this? Good morning.
Good morning.
Right, right.
We should be able to solve it. And
oh, that's one. Yeah, yeah. And they supposedly came up with one, but now nobody pays it any attention. It is. Their phones. Yeah, yeah. And I was over there. I was over there the other day, and somebody had came up to me and told me that pretty much the same issue that you're talking about. They want more control, and they want the head shed to let them do their job. Now, Mr. Brown, I don't know. I talked to him once or twice at a meeting last week at the town hall meeting. So I think he's an educrat, but I'm willing to give him a shot here. But what I heard come out of his mouth did not set well with me because it was always an excuse. We got to have some serious conversation with our community. No, we don't. You're the superintendent of Montgomery Public Schools. You make the rules, make some policies, and then make sure once the policy is implemented that it is followed. He can do that from with a phone call. Yeah, yeah. Well, that is nobody wants to irritate the idiot parents who send their kids to school with a cell phone and won't put it up. They don't want to have that conflict. I guess we call that conflict resolution. We let the kids win. So I guess that's what that is. I don't know. Yeah, I appreciate it.
You know, Kevin, actually, the Board of Education makes the rules.
That's right.
The superintendent carries them out.
Yeah, well, we thought that was the way it's supposed to work.
That is the way it works.
Well, then
in other words, you're talking about the wrong person. You have to complain to the Board of Education.
Well, and I've asked
the Board of Education makes the rules.
Right.
The superintendent just doesn't come in and makes rules.
Well, that's true.
He has a guideline that he follows.
Right. But there's some.
So he can't just jump in. Well, not being here and say, okay, I'm going to implement a policy. He can't do that.
Okay, but when he came and worked.
Here's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I just told you the simple thing is the Board of Education has to make that.
But you're absolutely right about that. I can't blame him for that one.
Yeah.
But who do we blame?
I'm not, see, it's not blame. I'm just saying, let's know correctly what has to happen and who has to do it.
But I've seen
the Board of Education.
Right. But I've
will
seen
make
things,
and he will implement it.
Right. But I've seen,
so until they implement that rule, now we need someone from the Board of Education to call in and say, okay, you're wrong on that.
But I've seen the policy book. I've seen the policy, the school handbook, and there's so many things in the book on black and white that nobody will enforce. Okay, I don't understand. I don't understand the dress code. They got a dress code. They do not enforce it. So there's already things on. If you make kids put their shirt in their pants, wear a belt, and look like somebody when they come in that school, they will initially start to act like somebody. But if you allow them to come dressed any kind of way, it does matter how you look.
So you just got on another subject. You changed the subject.
But it's already there.
But I'm saying you're going all over the place.
But it's already there though. The book's already there. It's already there.
Well, is it on the books about cell phone?
No, not cell phone.
Okay.
But
so I'm just saying.
Let's take one. Let's.
So if a teacher is saying something, they're complaining about the and I'm not disparaging the teacher, but if the teacher is saying, well, he hasn't made a rule, he doesn't make the rule.
He doesn't.
His office is to implement.
That's true.
The superintendent is merely the person who is the go-between between the Board of Education and the teachers.
Yeah.
He directs the principals according to what the Board of Education tells him to do.
All right, Dr. Keith, you need to call us. Let us know.
There you go.
If
she has an argument on that, let me know what that is.
Because you're right about that. Because common sense is left to build. You cannot teach a person on the telephone.
I agree with that. Right. But I'm just saying, let's put the blame where the blame belongs.
You're right. Okay, you're rarely right about much, but you're right about that one. We'll be back.
I think people are expecting too much of a new superintendent. He's not going to be here long. You know why? Because there are unrealistic expectations.
Discipline is not an unrealistic expectation. It's just not.
Under the present circumstances, it is.
But no, get rid of them.
And what do you, according to the law, what do you do?
There's no law that says you cannot put incorrigible children out of school. There's no law.
There is a process to do that.
Okay, so let's
do you know that process?
It's arduous. It is long, drawn out, but do it.
I'll tell you what, because I remember, you see, it used to be simple. See, the more things change, the more they stay the same. But when you had, and I say it often, when we had a person who went around looking for incorrigible students, and the automatic place that they went was the reform school.
Right.
And it was basically a prison for juveniles.
Right. We need a place where you go and it ain't fun.
And you know what? And see here, and that's what I keep saying, and that's what that was. There was no such thing as a recidivism rate at the reform school. Do you know when it changed? I can tell you exactly when it changed. It changed when we went from the leadership of one man being responsible for everything at the reform school, and we had a board. And that board had people on that who had absolutely no clue what to do. They were just in charge. And they changed the rule. Because the rule was every student who came to the reform school was going to learn how to play a musical instrument. They were going to take their classes. They were going to work in the garden. And they would learn a trade. They did all of that.
Which is great.
And that was great. You know, when that board came in, all of that went away because they
What year was it?
Let me see. The last I remember was in the 80s because I knew the guy who taught body and paint. I knew the guy who taught mechanics, auto mechanics. They had an auto mechanic shop. They had a carpentry shop, and they had the auto body. So you had basic trades. So you have guys who came out of reform school and who got a job working for a carpenter and became carpenters. There are several carpenters who are my age and older who went to the reform school, and that's where they learned. And they can play a musical instrument too, and they play in band.
I don't know why. I had called and he would come up here. I got the days mixed up.
No, you couldn't because he always knows.
I know, but I don't. I think
Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, Target, and online. Navage, NAV, Clean Nose.
Your Montgomery Biscuits are ready to take on the 2022 season with the best fans in minor league baseball. Join us for a summer full of theme weekends, celebrations, and the best biscuits in town. For ticket information, go to biscuitbaseball.com or the box office at 323-BALL.
Thinking about life insurance? What if you could make one free phone call and learn the best price from up to 10 price competitive companies? Well, that's exactly what happens when you call SelectQuote. For example, George is 39. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $22 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino, and believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-890-6688. That's 800-890-6688. 800-890-6688. Or go to selectquote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save. Get full details on the example policy at selectquote.com/commercials. It must be zero depending on your health issue. Not available in all states.
Thinking about life insurance? What if you could make one free phone call and learn the best price from up to 10 price competitive companies? Well, that's exactly what happens when you call SelectQuote. For example, George is 39. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $22 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino, and believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-890-6688. That's 800-890-6688. 800-890-6688. Or go to selectquote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save. Get full details on the example policy at selectquote.com/commercials. It must be
Man, I got these dates mixed up again.
Don't miss Sean Hannity.
Biden incoherently adheres
Live this afternoon at 2 p.m.
First and third.
First one, what Thursday is
This is the
this?
first
This is
Wednesday.
this is the second. No, what?
First.
This the first? No, this ain't the first.
First Wednesday.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, well, my bad.
I'm always the first and third.
Okay. Well, then I guess I'll see you next week. Right. Gotcha. Okay. Well, next week. Okay, next week. All right, man. Thank you. First. So you're the second and fourth. All right. Thanks.
First and third.
Okay, I got you.
That's what happens. You have sometimes.
Okay, we're back. I had my dates mixed up as usual. All this technology I got around me, and I can't keep a date straight. Well, you know, nobody's perfect. Anyway, I guess that voice you hear is that of the some people call them all kind of things. I mean, nice things, of course. Call them the what they call you. What does one guy call you? The great one or something like that. But we call them don't. Okay.
There you go.
I call them a couple other things too off air, but
yeah, but
you know, sometimes it gets on my nerves. But other than that, we get to go.
Adjectives don't matter.
Adjectives don't matter, right?
Yeah.
Because I guess I'm abrasive.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, it's just with it. That's where it goes.
You can't help it.
That's just part of my mental makeup. One of the things I want to talk about today, and I know you know more about this. You know about this, and the city of Montgomery is in denial
of what?
The Whitehurst issue. And I was thinking about it yesterday. We're in denial that something happened. I mean, we keep going back to 1960, World War, the Civil War, and those things were wrong on so many levels.
Right.
But that's 150 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened to Bernard Whitehurst
mm-hmm.
is something that I cannot figure out. If we're so woke of a society, we woke, mm-hmm. then why can't we figure out a way to acknowledge? I had Hubbard go to the House of Representatives, mm-hmm. and he actually made a proclamation for the mm-hmm. House of Representatives telling the wrongness that would happen to Mr. Bernard Whitehurst. I just don't understand. So it is officially in the records. I don't understand why this city and why the mayor we're so worried about the rights of people who who want to think they're something that they're not because of their perception. When there's
That's a whole nother conversation.
right. But I'm just saying, but there's no perception of what happened to Bernard Whitehurst.
Right.
And this is never going away until this city comes to grips with what happened to that young man in 1975. I just don't know why. And what really irks me is all the black leadership around here that won't demand that this city do something for that family. I don't understand it. We got black everything around here.
Right.
So if there's ever a time to dispense justice, it would be now.
You know, what's ironic? There's a marker that shows where Bernard Whitehurst was killed.
Mm-hmm.
It is ironic where it is. Do you know where it is?
Oh, on Hope Street?
No. It's on Holcomb Street.
Holcomb. Okay, Holcomb.
Okay. About 50 yards from from the most visited site in the state of Alabama. The lynching memorial.
Oh, that's where it is?
Yes. It's right down the street.
I thought it was by the police. I thought it was by the police.
No, it's right down the street from the lynching memorial. That is very ironic that we have a multi-million-dollar facility which thousands of people visit and spend millions of dollars every year, and the city of Montgomery doesn't recognize an individual who I will say was lynched. I don't care what former members of the police department say. If that exact same thing happened today, it would be called a lynching because it was illegal, it was immoral, and it was improper. They shot a man who was of no threat to the police. He was unarmed, and then they lied about it.
Yeah.
The mayor lied, the chief of police lied, and every officer involved with that lied. And absolutely no one served a day for it.
Not one. And
no one was held accountable for it. So, since EJI is one different thing,
mm-hmm.
But the city of Montgomery, now we brag about having a black mayor. Now is when our black mayor needs to stand up and say, yes, my father was on the city council at that time.
Right.
He was the leader of the Democratic Conference. But what did he do? And what will you do, Mayor, to say this wrong must be right?
It just
then after the black mayor says that, I will be proud of the black mayor. But other than that, I don't want to hear anything about LGBTQ. I don't want to hear all of this other junk. I don't want to hear about businesses coming in or showing them around. I want to hear, what are we going to do about the administrations that were before you, that were white, that put it up under the rug?
Mm-hmm.
Then I will say, I'm proud to have a black mayor.
Good morning. Who's this? Yes.
Good morning. How are you, sir?
Hey, listen. I don't. Who cares? I mean, seriously. No. We own something more important than what happens in. No. Listen, I don't want to talk about it. This ain't got nothing to do with Trump. This is right here at home. Let's talk about what happened right at home. I don't want to hear about Trump. When two elephants get to fighting, I don't want to be in the room. Yeah, but I don't want to hear it. I'm talking about something that's more relevant than Trump. Trump gonna be all right. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to hear your comment about it. I don't want to hear it. I just don't want to hear it.
Well, let me ask you, what is your comment on what we were just talking about?
Yeah, we talking about that.
How about that? Okay, well, that's good. Well, right now, see, I only have 2 days out of the month to be here. And this is a very important subject to me because it's personal. And so Trump is not personal to me.
Yeah, he ain't personal to me.
Because Kevin is gonna help him all the time. I don't do that. I don't have time for that. But what he brought up, Kevin brought up the subject of something that is very dear to me. And I would appreciate the comments about what we're talking about.
Well, I don't know. See what we talk about and call back. Good morning.
See what we're talking about.
Good morning.
Okay. Good morning, sir. Mm.
Okay, Ed, I'm really sick and tired of hearing that. I really am. I really am sick and tired of hearing it. I'm tired of hearing the same thing every morning. You know, this show don't get started in the morning until we give a word from on high. So now, seriously, if you can't say something else, I'm done. Seriously, I'm done with you. Okay, now I let you call because I know you need a place to to relieve yourself. But I'm just saying our show don't even get started in the morning unless we give honor, and homage to God. I don't need you calling me every morning telling me the same thing. I just don't. Well, I do hear. So if you want to keep calling, come up with something else. See you later. Good morning. Who's this? Good morning.
Good morning, sir. I'm doing just great this morning. How about yourself? You have a comment on the conversation we're having?
I did. I did. I did put the guy when the guy wanted to talk about Trump. Yes, I did. And right now you changing it. Then what are you talking about? But it was the same. It was in the same vein. We were talking about basically the same issue. Anyway, what else you got? I don't feel like being chastised this morning. Okay. 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 Whatever. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. All right. Appreciate it. All right, never mind. I mean, everybody's a critic. Anyway, don't forget, our show's been brought to you in part by JL Lane Truck and Auto. JL Lane Truck and Auto. Online inventory, go to jlanetruckandauto.com. You can buy there. You can pay there. Cars have been cleaned and cleared of all known issues, past a rigorous and vigorous inspection process. So if you're ready to ride and you want to go to a place, you know, your credit may not be all that good, maybe a little jacked up. You have some hiccups along the way, but you need another chance because you're a different person now. Well, JL Lane Truck and Auto is the place you want to go. Okay, they don't care about your past; they care about your future. And so you need to give them a call, 272-4313, 272-4313. And if they don't have it, you can ask for Steve. Steve, I think, probably has the resources to get it. So if you need a car, you're tired of walking, you need another shot at it. You know, you got to get to work, got to take the kids to the hospital, or whatever it is that you need to do. And the bus, great service, but it just don't run every place you need to go. You need a car. Online inventory. So go to jllanetruckandauto.com, take a look at the inventory, and you can do it on your phone, you can do it on your computer at home, whatever the case may be, and you can look at the inventory and call them up, say what it's going to take, and they're going to tell you. And if it's any way possible that you can get put in the car, they will do that for you. They don't look for a reason to reject you. They look for a reason to accept you. Okay, so that number again, 272-4313. That is JL Lane Truck and Auto. All right, long starting right quick. Good. Let me take a little break. Take my last break of this hour, and we shall come back. There's some subjects that, you know, most of I let you guys go off the plantation. But this is one that I spent a lot of time last night thinking about, and it's one somebody needs to answer for this. Why, after all of these years, that we cannot, and it comes up all the time because it's a cloud hanging over Montgomery, and
we need to clear that cloud.
We do. It's like when it's raining outside. Everybody knows it's going to rain. See the clouds. Well, when is it going to rain? You know, so I just think, and now that I don't really get into the color thing too much, but I will say, since we do have a black mayor, and since a black man was certainly shot down in the streets of Montgomery years ago, and saying that, well, they went to court and they went to federal court. That's got nothing to do with the city of Montgomery not doing something for this family, because it was a city of Montgomery policeman who did this, and it was not a federal police. It was our people, the people in Montgomery, Alabama. I just think that family needs some recompense. Okay, we need to for once and for all, Mr. Mayor, clear this up. I don't know what that means. I'll leave that for you guys and the family to get together and have a conversation. But they've been promised and promised and promised, and those promises, okay, it's like a used up. Well, you know what I'm saying. And it ain't doing nobody any good. We'll be back right after this.
Your WSFA First Alert Weather Forecast on News Radio 1440.
Sponsored by.
Now, you know there are people who will call us around and tell people that I've
Business
said
needs keep ramping up. Check
and I
out
know some of the people
the
that
all-in-one
tell
hiring
me
solution
that
that
I'm going to
helps you
get a
attract,
conversation
interview,
about
and hire candidates.
But I told them I'm going to stay the same. So look for it. It's coming.
I'm
not
sitting
going
there
to be deterred.
Right. And I ain't gonna leave it alone either. Because it just doesn't make any sense. All these years they gave you folks $1 and nothing, and $1, no matter how much they come up with, it won't be enough.
Right.
But at least they will acknowledge that this city did something wrong.
Yeah. No one serves.
Because that could have been my father, your mother, somebody, and we treat dogs better than this.
Kevin, you had to be here to see what exactly happened. First of all, you had to know Bernard White. He worked 2 jobs. Everyone knew that he was afraid of the police, and the police would make him run on purpose just to laugh. That's how low down the police were. He had no idea what was going on. He assumed it was just them making him run like they always did. And you probably can't imagine that, where the police would just come up and say, "Hey, boy."
No, but
and just check. And it wouldn't chase you. You just go ahead, pull a gun out like they're gonna shoot you, and you run. It was a joke. See, there are people who can't believe that, but I know that for a fact it happened. And I know he was one of those people that would do that to. So they knew, he just scared. They just make him run and laugh.
If you or a family member have lived, worked, or served at Camp Lejeune at any time from 1953 to 1987,
but they actually did have an incident that happened not far from that. The guy just came up with it. And they were shooting. It didn't matter who it was. If they saw you running, they would shoot you. You didn't have to be a part of the crime. And people ran all the time. It was just this particular case where this was someone who was well known. He was unarmed. And they put a gun on him that they got out of the evidence line.
I mean, how did nobody pay for this.
Millions have been set aside for victims of toxic water claims.
Even under the rules at the time. And I know our police friend is going to call, but he can't justify that.
And nobody can. You treat dogs better than this. If somebody killed a dog and left that dog in the middle of the street and they found out whose dog it was, they're going to get him.
But you know what? If that was today, the mayor, the police chief, and everyone involved with that will be going to prison right now.
Yeah.
Okay? It's like that case with Ahmaud Arbery, with the police and all the police who were involved in that. It's the same thing. The same thing. It's not only the crime, it's the cover-up of the crime that is a crime. And that's what's the problem. You had a crime and a cover-up of the crime. And it doesn't matter what the law said. It was, like 2 years later that a 16-year-old was under the same circumstances. And that's what changed the Supreme Court decision on that.
16-year-old?
Yeah, it was 16-year-old.
Black kid?
Yeah, not in Alabama. I think it was in like Chicago or something. Same incident with there are rules for shooting a person.
Right. Now the law
if he is not an imminent threat to anyone.
Right. The fleeing felon thing was they could shoot you, I guess. Then they did away with
if you were a threat.
Right.
They felt you were a threat to others and harm for others or yourself. See, like the police can shoot you. If you got a gun and you're running and shooting at them, they can shoot you then.
Yeah,
and that's what they do all the time. Now they say, well, like a guy that they say he shot out of a car, but the guy was running with no weapon, and they shot him. You panic of traffic. And here's the thing: how so many people get killed on a traffic stop?
They say those traffic stops are the most dangerous. You accidentally roll up behind somebody that you don't want to be rolled up behind. Somebody.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But this one here, stay on track. It's interesting to hear what the comments will be today from the usual.
When it comes to your money,
that's something you can't justify.
You can find it at smartaboutmoney.org, a free online resource from the
I try to give it
financial education. Smartaboutmoney.org.
Well, I understand the situation. He has a stage of dementia where he does what's routine to him. He's in that routine. He's going to do the same thing. All you got to do is say thank you for your call.
Okay, we're back live and in person. 860-1440. And see who this is. Good morning. Who is this? Yes. Hello. Good morning. Yeah, you talking about Kevin Murphy? Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Okay, I'll have to. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to look at it. I forgot. I mean, I was thinking yesterday was Monday, so I forgot all about. I forgot all about it was going on. To tell you the truth, but I'll go back to the video and look at it. Yeah.
I have not participated in that. I'm aware of it, but look, after 30 years and over $1 million worth of different talks and plans, I'm burnt out with it. I've just told everyone who has asked me about it, I'm burnt out with all of these charrettes, all of these plans, and all of these consultants, and all of these promises that I don't want to hear another one. Let's have some results. We have enough plans, we have enough charrettes, but what do we have as actual individuals moving forward to invest in what needs to happen? That's all I want to hear. Right.
All right. Hey, appreciate your call. Let me take this one. It's 7:53 in the morning. Good morning. Who's this? Pretty good.
In Bel Air, yeah. Yeah, I knew him personally, yeah. Yeah. Neckbone was his nickname. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
that's
Yeah.
true. Right.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm. So we can blame the Democrats in for the shape Alabama in. Yeah. We can blame our Democrats in for the shape Alabama in. Stop blaming the Republicans.
All those Dixiecrats are
Oh, no, now they're
Republicans.
Dixiecrats. Okay, I got you.
That's
I
what
got
it
you.
was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, okay. Yeah, I know they. Wait, that's called brainwashing 101. Yes. Okay. Okay. All right. Appreciate it. 7:56 in the morning. 47 years ago, I was 18 years old. That means from the time I was 18 to I'm now 65, that's a lifetime. That we have yet to hold anybody responsible for what happened to Mr. Bernard Whitehurst. 47 years. I was 18, lost, didn't know where the hell I was. Okay. And Alabama was no place on my mind. Hell, I couldn't even find Alabama on the map unless it was spelled on it. That's how far I didn't want to go down here. Didn't want to come down here. But 47 years, it's kind of like the Emmett Till thing. They found a piece of paper, what do you call it, an arrest warrant, I guess, for that woman. But 70 years is a long time to not bring about justice, even for him. So is this our Emmett Till? Except here's the problem. We got black folks in charge here who won't do anything about it. I mean, I expect the white folk back in that time not to do anything.
Right.
But I don't expect folks who look like me who get. I think Stephen Reed, and I hate to put it all on him, but he is the mayor now. And I talked to Todd Strange about it. I talked to Bobby Bright about it. They did not have a desire to open that box up again.
It wasn't important to them.
Right. But I would tell you this much. If you kill a dog and you leave the dog on the street, dead as a doornail, and somebody knows who the owner of that dog is, guess what he's going to do? He's going to get a knock at his door, okay, for animal cruelty. Are we saying in the city of Montgomery, people, are we saying that a man's life is worth less than a dog? That's a question you need to think about. Okay, we'll be back.
Your WSFA 12 news update on News Radio 1440.
I can hear the phone calls going now.
You didn't get your usual. I guess they'll call it the next time. You got your usual mayor.
I don't know. I still can't figure why Steve Reed ain't did something about it. It should have been one of the first things he did when he got.
He don't care.
I guess he don't.
Town of Pike Road has confirmed a new restaurant will be located in the Pike Road Station shopping center. Mellow will take the in-space there. Construction will take place over the Mellow. We're 30 days out from the greatest 10 days of fall, the Alabama National Fair. This year there will be new shows and security procedures, including a policy that requires everyone 17 or younger to be accompanied by a parent or guardian. The Alabama National Fair will be held at Garrett Coliseum on October 7th through the 16th. I'm Jasmine Williams with WSFA 12 News, and these are your
News Radio 1440, WLWI AM, the home of the Dan Bongino Show. Also on 95.1 HD3 FM, Montgomery, Alabama, a Cumulus media station. This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. There's a new report in the Washington Post. Information about a foreign country's nuclear capabilities turned up in some of those documents the FBI seized at former President Trump's Florida estate. Nuclear expert Joe Cirincione is concerned.
The release of this document could jeopardize the means by which we acquired the information, including the people who might have given us that information.
No word on what country it involves. The Post says some of the files are so closely guarded, many senior national security officials can't access them. CBS News has confirmed former Trump advisor Steve Bannon is expected to surrender tomorrow. CBS's Anne-Marie Green has details from New York.
The charges are similar to those that he faced in a federal 2020 fraud case related to a fundraising effort to build a border wall. Now, Bannon pleaded not guilty to the federal charges and was pardoned by former President Trump. Presidential pardons only apply to federal cases.
Californians waking up to an 8th day of searing temperatures, some in the triple digits. The weather continues to fuel the flames of deadly wildfires. Reporter Pete Demetrio with our affiliate KNX Radio is in Riverside County.
To contain the fire or prevent it from doubling back and heading for homes in the city of Hemet, CAL FIRE Captain Richard Cordova says more manpower is now on the scene.
Approximately about 500 firefighters, along with their support,
assigned to this incident. We do anticipate more resources coming in.
Officials are warning people to use electricity sparingly because widespread blackouts are still a real possibility. New questions abound after the CDC approved Omicron-tailored boosters last week. Who should get them and when? CBS News contributor Dr. Celine Gounder.
The advice I would be giving my patients in the hospital is wait 3 months from your last case of COVID, your last infection, or 3 months from your last COVID vaccination before getting the Omicron booster.
Boosters have already shipped out to pharmacies. This is Liz Truss's first full day on the job at 10 Downing Street. The UK's new Prime Minister is wasting no time vowing to fund a plan to help Brits pay skyrocketing electric bills.
I want us to continue to stand up to that appalling Russian aggression that has led to the energy crisis we face now.
No details on how she'd pay for the plan. Meet the Louisiana native who tops this year's Country Music Association nominations. In her first year as nominee, Lainey Wilson's rounded up nods in 6 categories this morning, including Album of the Year, Female Vocalist of the Year, and Song of the Year. This is CBS News.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Visit libertymutual.com to learn more.
You know, it's true. Difficult times have a way of focusing us. We have to think about what matters most when it comes to our spending, our healthcare. No doubt. This is why so many people are joining MediShare right now. MediShare is a trusted way to save up to 50% on your monthly healthcare costs. More than 400,000 people have already made the switch. It's pretty obvious why, too, especially now during this challenging season with healthcare costs and out-of-pocket expenses going up. MediShare can save you a lot of money. The typical family saves $500 a month. And MediShare is a Christian healthcare sharing ministry that's worked beautifully for 27 years. There are different options to choose from to fit your budget. I'll give you the number here in a second. And if you call, you can get a price within 2 minutes. Maybe now would be perfect time to make the switch and start saving. Here you go. Call 866-88-BIBLE. That's 866-88-BIBLE. 866-88-BIBLE.
Primary votes are in New England.
Jeff Deal, a former state lawmaker backed by former President Trump, won the Republican nomination for governor in Massachusetts.
We're going to run a campaign that is focused specifically on we, the people, our freedoms, our rights, and our prosperity.
Trump has said Deal would rule Massachusetts, quote, with an iron fist. He faces Democratic State Attorney General Maura Healey in the general election. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
A former president and first lady returned to the White House today.
I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear.
The Obamas will be on hand for a ceremony to unveil their official portraits. The first time Mr. Obama went back in April, he called Joe Biden vice president. Then he assured his first number two it was only a joke. The whole thing went over like a lead balloon. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Waiting was such a mistake. That's one of the things we hear most after we've successfully treated one of our patients for erectile dysfunction. At Montgomery Men's Health, we want you to know first and foremost that waiting is a mistake, because the longer you wait, the more difficult it can be to treat your ED. Using what you've got is important, not just for your relationship, but for your overall health. There's some truth to the phrase, if you don't use it, you'll lose it. At Montgomery Men's Health, we'll fight for your ability to consistently perform without the anxiety that so many men experience. In fact, you might even find you performing like you haven't in a long time. We only treat ED and low T at Montgomery Men's Health, and we've successfully treated many men with protocols that are effective in nearly 90% of cases. We also have a full complement of treatments, including acoustic wave therapy, so you get the one that works best for you. So don't wait. Make an appointment. For just $99, you get a medical consultation, blood work, and a medically advised test scores. Call today, 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663, or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
Is your prostate secretly being destroyed without you knowing it? All the ads for this prostate, like Superbaby Prostate, Soft Palmetto, ProstaScreen, Prostagenics, and others, want to know.
Coffee is so overrated.
Garbage? No, you can't.
I don't know why people drink it. I don't even know why I drink it. I don't like it.
You can come up with something.
It's wet. And so I just take it because it's like water.
So is water.
I know water's wet too.
Water, I mean, really.
The water ain't got no taste.
Tastes like water.
Tastes like water. It's true. Can't argue with that one.
ProstateSecrets.com. This free guide will show you how to end your prostate problems without drugs or surgery. Buy this
Water and lemon juice.
and much more.
Now, people did bring the lemon juice up to me.
Yeah, water and lemon juice. Drink it warm as opposed to cold. It's good for you. Good for your digestive
Telling
system.
it like it really is. It's the Dan Bongino Show, weekdays from 11 to 2 on News Radio 1440.
Alrighty then. Okay, before we get back to my guest and our subject this morning, let me tell you about one of our main sponsor of our show, which is J.O. Lane Truck and Auto, J.O. Lane Truck and Auto. If you're in the market for a pre-loved car, not used, but a pre-loved car, okay, I need you to get on the phone, call 272-4313. But the first thing I want you to do is go on the internet, okay? All you got to do, you can look at the inventory that they got right now, online right now. They got a real nice 2008 Dodge Ram 1500. They also have a Jeep Patriot Latitude. We also have a, let's see what else we got. Oh, we got a nice one. We got a nice one. A Ford Focus SE. Looks good. White. Looks good. You look good in that car. They got a Ford F-150 and a few other cars. But the one car I really like is a 2003 Lincoln Town Car. Now, you want to Uber? You know, listen, do you know how much more Ubering you can do with a Lincoln? You make everybody feel like they are a radio star or a television star or something like that. And put a little carpet in there. Put a little carpet in there. Throw the carpet down, and they're swearing down that they are very important people. You need to go and get that car, and it's not very much either. Okay, and a Toyota 4Runner, and they got a bunch of other cars over here too. So what you need to do is go to the website JL Lane Truck and Auto and check it out for yourself. Look at the cars, look at the inventory. Now everything's not online because they get them coming and going every day. So, but you got to check back at least every other day. Okay. Online inventory, you can buy there, you can pay there. So if you had some hiccups in your credit, don't worry about it. Don't worry about the hiccup. They don't care about your past. They merely care about your future. Okay. So give them the 208 Gun Road. 208 Gun Road. Or call 272-4313. You can buy there and you can pay there. Now, all of these cars, not some, but all of these cars have passed a rigorous and vigorous inspection process. So if you're ready to ride, go to 208 Gun Road or give them a call, 272-4313, 272-4313. And if they don't have it, ask for Steve. He'll get it for you. I'm just telling you, that's the way it works, okay? He'll take care of it, okay? Okay, that is JL Lane Truck and Auto. Every day, in every way. Anyway, good morning to you. Our numbers are 860-1440. We're talking about an incident that happened 47 years ago this December. I believe it was December the 5th, I think the day it happened.
December the 2nd.
December the 2nd. I was joining the Army, 18 years old, lost, didn't know what the hell I was doing. And Montgomery, Alabama was lost. Some of them didn't know what the hell they were doing. But a man lay dead in the streets of Montgomery. If we took a dog and kill a dog and lay him in the middle of the street in the state of Montgomery, somebody going to jail. But until this day, 47 years later, nobody has paid for that crime. As a matter of fact, if it were not for Kevin Murphy, who once we had this conversation some years ago, he actually went to their home. Do you realize nobody had been to Mrs. Whitehurst's house? Nobody had been all of those years from Montgomery Police Department. And that's about 40 years. I've been here a while. I've been down here. And nobody had ever been to her house until Kevin Murphy took it upon himself to go out there. Can you imagine your relative, your husband getting killed by the Montgomery Police Department and nobody shows up at the house for almost 40 years? I mean, come on. You know, we wouldn't kill a dog and treat him that way. And it keeps coming up. Yeah, as a matter of fact, yeah, and that's what they said. We done shot the wrong end. Okay, Myra McPherson, who's a top-notch reporter for the Washington Post during that time, came on the show with me one day, said she came down here and heard that. She heard that on the radio. Okay, and she said, it is Montgomery, it is Alabama's Watergate. And until it gets fixed, the mayor, whoever the mayor is, this one or the next one, somebody needs to handle this. And I've got to tell you, I've never seen people with such short memories in my life. I mean, I know all about this case. Hell, I wasn't even here. I was only 18. I was dumb as a skunk then. But this is an injustice that needs to be rectified. And I'm thinking about all last night. Somebody killed my father. Somebody killed my dad. Okay, put up, no, dad. What? If somebody had killed him, I still want to know that they took care of whoever killed him. But are we really saying in the city of Montgomery that a dog's life is worth more than a man's life? Are we really saying that? You can't do a dog the way they did Mr. Whitehurst. You can't do a dog that way because somebody going to jail. So I'm just saying, Montgomery, black and white people, justice is for everybody. If you take justice away from one, then you take it away from all of us. Because who gets to decide? Who gets to decide what justice looks like? I don't know. But 860-1440, and I know there are a lot of people out there this morning who don't want to hear this, but I find it absolutely insane that 47 years have gone by, and we have that this city has yet to say officially we were wrong in what we did. Not the mayor now, not the people now, but I'm talking about as a city, though. It's still the same city it was in 1975. It's the same. We didn't change the charter. We didn't change the name. So it's still the same Montgomery. And this was done under the color of authority of the city of Montgomery, Montgomery Police Department. We're not blaming anybody in the police department now, unless they've been there a long time, and know about these kinds of things. So anyway, I just think it's and I realize it's an uncomfortable thing to have to talk about. But I think this is, because I'm not going to let it go. It comes out, I lay off for a little while, but Mr. Mayor, this needs to be taken care of. Give that
inconvenient truth.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what it even talk about global warming. But a great title, an inconvenient truth that the Montgomery has to deal with. Sooner or later, gonna have to deal with it. Okay, because it don't keep coming up. It's a cloud. It's right there. Good morning. Who's this? Yes.
Good morning.
Here's looking at you.
And I'm with you, but I don't want to get into the library. Yeah, and I appreciate it. I don't want to get into the library thing, but I appreciate you acknowledging the family. Good morning. Who's this?
Good morning. How are you, sir?
Well, But we do know, but once we explain it though,
but
once
but think of how many there
Yeah.
are who are 67
Right.
like myself. We do know, and that's who I'm talking to. The 50-year-old, if they haven't had anyone to tell them about
Right.
it, that's their problem. But my son knows, okay?
for justice. 75. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Was anybody charged then? Was anybody
Here's
charged?
the difference, and I hear your argument, but here's the difference. Here's the difference. Here's the difference. The city of Montgomery changed completely because of this. Look, the cover-up is the crime, the biggest part of the crime. The mayor of Montgomery quit. The chief of police quit. Every police officer involved with the incident.
Well,
quit.
nobody can hear both of y'all at
Yeah,
the same time.
Yeah. So what I'm saying, this is totally different. Okay.
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 And again, I can't handle every,
No.
I can't handle everything, but I know about this one.
Here is the difference. Here's the difference, sir. Sir, let me tell you this. No.
For
no,
killing
we're-
people, I
we're
think
talking
it
about
ought to
the
be a
cover-
lawsuit.
The cover-up, sir. Here's the difference. The mayor of Montgomery quit because of the cover-up. The police chief quit because of the cover-up. The cover-up is the big as the crime. The cover-up was big as the crime. We're talking about both the crime and the cover-up.
Well, I don't know that to be true because I was told that's not true. Well, but you don't know that either. You only go by what you said. You don't know that. But you don't know. How you know? Well, that's the new law. That's a new law. Well, again, it's really not about the money. It's about the injustice of what happened, because that's the only thing they can do. Right? They can't bring them back. They left a man sitting in the street. That's right, they can. But I can't fight your battle too. Right. You got to fight that one yourself.
No, here's the problem, sir. Sir.
I love you, brother.
The world knew that a police officer killed, and they said we done shot the wrong N-word. Okay, the world knew that. That was out in the world. Okay. See, I'm 67. I remember when that was in the papers and it was everywhere. Everyone knew it. Okay. Then the police chief, the mayor, everyone lied and said it didn't happen that way. Okay. And it was found out that they were lying. This is the difference, sir. The cover-up is just as bad as the crime itself.
But let me ask you something. Why did the police officer shoot your father? Shoot your grandfather? So it's personal.
Yeah, that was personal. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And whatever happened to him?
Did the mayor of Montgomery
Right.
say that he didn't do it? Did the mayor say that? Well, see, we have documentation that the mayor, Jim Robinson, said that it didn't happen the way it happened. Yeah. That's why Emory Farmer became mayor of Montgomery.
And let me ask you something, but because it's an inconvenient truth and we can't get everybody, does that mean nobody gets justice? Well, they certainly won't if nobody commands that they do. They certainly won't. They certainly won't if nobody demands that they do.
That's right.
And that's possible.
And that's what we're doing now.
Right. It's possible.
See, the difference now, here's
right.
where I am, bud, and
appreciate it.
Like it or not, and anyone out there. The difference now and the difference then is people like to make the point that we have a black mayor. So that means the attitude of a black mayor should be totally different from all of the white mayors who came before him, where white people just say, oh, you know, that happened. Just like this caller just said, well, my father was shot by a policeman. That's a whole, if you didn't tell me that, I wouldn't know it. But you can go online. I couldn't find that online if I looked for it. I don't know who your grandfather is. I don't know all that. That's personal. But we're talking about something that there are many articles written about it. There are many comments about it worldwide.
Yeah.
And this is a scandal in Montgomery that is not going away until we rectify the situation. It is not personal.
Right.
We have both a crime of killing an innocent man and a cover-up by the police department and the mayor.
Good morning. I don't know if the kids even come to trial yet. Mm. Well, I don't know if the city council can do anything on their own with this. I would think they probably could. Right. My understanding is that Mr. Who's a lawyer then? Mr. What's his name? He in jail right now, getting ready to get out from Birmingham.
Donald Watkins.
Yeah, Donald Watkins bypassed the city court and went straight to federal court
because they were found innocent of all charges on the city side.
Oh well,
they were found innocent.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, they said they acted properly or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
it didn't make sense.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I don't know. I do know that everybody knows. Ray Charles can see that this was wrong, and if they wanted to do something to rectify this for that family, they could. I mean, just think about it for 1 second. 47 years ago, your dad laying in the streets of Montgomery, and nobody's taking responsibility for what happened, and nobody paid.
You know, I think this is an opportunity for the mayor to step forward because it's ironic that he was shot right down the street from the lynching memorial.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see the lynching memorial from where he was shot.
I mean, that kind of was like a lynching.
That was a lynching.
I mean, that kind of was like a lynching. I mean, it just was. You kill somebody for no reason. No, just because you don't like them and you can do it. Again, if let's put it this way. If his life doesn't mean anything, then nobody's life means anything.
Right.
Hey, appreciate it. One more call. I got to take my break. Good morning. Who's this? Hey, good morning, Stacy. Pretty good, pretty good. We just, we got to bring this. We got to bring this up every once in a while because the city. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Not had, so he hasn't got with you guys in a meeting with just the family? Y'all haven't done that with the mayor? Mm. Now, is it possible he's called and you guys missed the call?
Yeah, that's probably the case. But I tell you what, I think after today, there are a lot of people who will mention that you were on this radio station today, and there were a lot of people who are concerned. And you know, Kevin and I are two people who are concerned, and we think this is a responsibility, and we are calling out publicly for the mayor
and the city council
to meet with the family,
right,
and discuss where do we go.
Let me ask something, Stacey. Have you tried to have a PTSD? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you, can we get a meeting with the city council people? Well, let me ask something. Who is your city council person? Well, when you find out who it is, let me know. Yeah, find out who it is. Let me know. Right. See if I can put a little. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it is? And remember, there was a young man who was thrown off the bridge on the other side of I forgot what his name. I forgive me name, but what was his name? I'll find that out in a little bit. Mm-hmm. Stacey, we're gonna stay on it, brother. Find out who your city councilman is, and let me have a conversation with him. All right. Thank you, sir. Right. Okay. Mm-hmm. That still bothers him. That just, I mean, it bothers me. It bothers everybody. Got a heart.
Yeah.
We'll be back.
Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Sponsored by Public Supermarket.
Like he's saying, if you Google Bernard Whitehurst, it's gonna pop up a bunch of stuff. Scandal.
And they're just ignoring the whole
and then
the whole process.
And like when the caller said people 50 years old and under, that's because they don't have someone who knew about it. But your mind, though. And see, that's what happens when you have these markers. A lot of times people, unless someone is actually walking by that marker, you didn't know it was there, did you? Over on Hawkins Street, where he was shot.
Somebody said Julie McPhillips has been taking an attorney who all remember too. I think Jim Robinson was mayor, but Julie McPhillips ain't never volunteered to.
You don't
And I ain't blaming. We all got to make it down. I ain't mad at him.
You don't volunteer.
We have record high gas prices about to get higher.
And then there are certain things that certain lawyers
We have wide open borders and a president that won't enforce the laws of this land. A president that is aiding and abetting.
This is a real touchy subject now.
Somebody said Ed Wright is a member of
city
Morning
after
Dew
city after city after city. You know, I was watching, for
It's still
example,
living.
Biden chose
I was
Pennsylvania,
Ed-
kind of tone
I
deaf
was
on
Ed
that
Wright
issue.
with
Last
Morning
weekend alone,
Radio
14
and
people
discussed
shot, 4 killed in Philly. More than
One
1,400 have been shot
to the
in Philly
people.
this year alone.
Be
Not
careful
Pennsylvania,
with
just
the
Philly.
blood, 'cause
On
he may be
robberies,
sleeping
Mr. Lieutenant
just
Governor,
under the
trust
rug
fund
for the
brat
church
never
brother.
worked a real job in his life that tries
He
to look
may.
like Mr. Tough Guy with his tattoos
And
and
so
his hoodie.
I go to
Fetterman,
church
tried
with
to
the
look
guy.
tough.
And you on the straight
I go to the
path.
same
Later
church.
today, it's the
Yeah,
Sean
right, though.
Hannity Show.
Because when you don't know the history, you don't know. I'm gonna see if I can see if I can get him on.
Projects of summer, and I hate to admit it,
Just-
almost
just
none of them got done. Thankfully, I can
Yeah,
cross the
somebody-
treatments off because of blinds.com.
Yeah.
And I had when the Attorney General of the United States at that particular time, Attorney General said about the state's attorney, the AG,
Now through September the
I
2nd,
got
50% off
audio and
everything
video
site-wide, plus
of
great
him
doorbusters,
saying
blinds.com, rules and restrictions.
it
may
was
apply.
a screw up. I mean, that's what he said. Who was the attorney? Ed, what's the guy's name? Jimmy
I
Evans?
was stationed there during
Yeah.
that time and later diagnosed with Parkinson's due to that exposure. So at Dudley DeBosier, not only do we know the law and understand how to navigate this, we're in the trenches with you. We're helping my family and we'd like to help you. Dudley DeBosier is filing claims this week. Call 800-300-8300. That's 800-300.
Information to change your life forever. Or the Something You Should Know podcast could just be something interesting.
I'm talking with Brian Hare, who wrote the book Survival of the Friendliest. Because our minds are built for friendliness, we survive and those other species went extinct. Friendliness leads to cooperation, which leads to innovation, which leads to civilization. If only I could say it so concise. Yeah, maybe I should be interviewed by me on this show.
Who was involved in the Montgomery cover-up for Bernard Whiter?
Attention, all military members or military families or contractors that spend time at Marine Base Camp Lejeune. If you or a family member have lived, worked, or served at Camp Lejeune at any time from
Who was involved in the cover-up for Montgomery of Bernard Whiter?
Call 800-320-9047 now to see if you qualify. That's right. Marines, their families, employees, contractors, and anyone who lived, worked, or served at Camp Lejeune may be entitled to significant cash compensation. Studies have found the water at Camp Lejeune was contaminated with toxic chemicals for decades, causing serious health conditions such as cancer, Parkinson's, leukemia, and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Congress has approved, and President Biden has signed a new law allowing anyone that spent time at the base to seek the justice they deserve. Millions have been set aside for victims of toxic water.
John Gay,
or a loved one who was at Camp
the
Lejeune.
man, the myth, the legend.
There was no autopsy.
Right man, that's right.
Hey, there was no autopsy, and the body was quickly embalmed before the family was contacted.
And that's
The coroner relied on police reports of what killed and what bullet killed him. And 6 years later, an investigation by a local newspaper.
Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
8 police officers were forced to resign
Good morning.
or terminated. No police officer was convicted of a crime.
But well, you need me to do something? All right, well, I'll run back to public.
Your number one choice for blinds, shutters, and drapes in
Just want to see it, brother.
Just Blinds has been delivering
Let me get you back there.
the absolute best in customer service before, during,
Check a brother, huh?
for over 35 years. Please visit us online at Go Just Blinds.
I ain't falling for it.
He's the voice of the conservative millennial.
8:36.
The Ben Shapiro Show, tonight at 8 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
And here we go. A bridge over troubled water. Anyway, good morning, everybody. 86014. We talked about something that happened a long time ago, but it's just as fresh in people's mind, the family's mind, as if it happened yesterday. And I was just sitting there last night. I did so much studying last night, it was a shame. but this was laid on my heart, and it's just something that needs to be dealt with. The Bernard Whitehurst story, in case you do not know, you're under 50 years old, because he's been gone for 47 years. It was a young man who worked, took care of his family, worked at Alabama State, from what I can understand. Just a guy headed home, and all of a sudden something came across the radio, said somebody had robbed somebody, which didn't really fit his description at all. But evidently he had a history of not being kind of petrified of police, and they, from what I can, from where the story goes, the Montgomery Police Department shot him, and over the radio, in the ensuing comments publicly, they said, we didn't shot the wrong end. I wouldn't use the word, but some of you guys are offended by that word. So rather than, and they, so somebody goes back to the police department, grabs a gun, lays it down by him, and to say to
police evidence lock.
Right, evidence lock from the police department to make it seem as though he actually had a weapon, and he didn't. And the weapon they had already been entered into the records at the Montgomery Police Department. So and for 40-something years, nobody from the Montgomery Police Department even went out to that woman, Mrs. Whitehurst's house, and told her what happened to her husband. It wasn't until I got on the radio one day, talked about it for about a year. Kevin Murphy, first person to ever go out there and say, we're sorry. Okay, he said, we're sorry. So I mean, how can you kill a woman's husband, and 40 years nobody from Montgomery MPD ever went to her house?
Yeah. To
say, this is what happened. Nobody. I mean, what kind of human being? If we hit a dog in the street, somebody is going to try to find the owner of the dog. Okay. So me, I'm just perplexed by this, and I don't know. You just don't treat human beings that way. Okay, maybe you did then, but not now. Okay. 860-1440 is the number. You want to give us a call up, talk to whatever on your mind, take a couple more calls, and good morning. You're there. Yes.
Good morning, sir.
Well, whoever his city council person was, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I hear you. Right.
Well, I'm not going to give y'all the facts, but everybody didn't. Okay, but hold on. Let's clarify. I know who you're talking about, but there were discussions, but you don't. But see, the thing is, you never heard him talk negatively about another person. Okay.
Yeah.
I did.
Okay.
Now that's another situation. Let's move forward. Okay, your point right now. No. I'm dealing with facts.
Well, I don't have. I'm short on time, but let me get a couple more calls, and you can come back in, because I got to get rid of one more break. Good morning. Yes.
Good morning, sir.
Well, right. Well, I thought it was from Prattville. Okay. Mm. Right. 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 That's what I understand it. Now, listen, I have got to go. I got to go to a break. We'll continue to talk when we come back. I got to go. We'll be back.
You know what? You said something yesterday that reminded me. I'm glad you did this today because we paid $25,000. When I say we, people involved with the city paid $25,000 to change the name of Jeff Davis. They found that money from somewhere.
Sponsor your first job and get hiring today by visiting Indeed.com.
They paid $25,000 to change the name to Fred Gray. I wasn't impressed because how can you find money to do that? And nothing on Jeff Davis now. So what's so proud? There's nothing to be proud of Jeff Davis now. I mean, the AME church is over there, and that's about it. The Lovers is closed. There's nothing on that street. Funeral home down there.
You know, people always complain that I don't do research. Listen, when I'm interested in something,
hey,
I do the research. And I've done the research on the Whitehurst thing, and they're just. I even got the original reporter from New York Post or the New York Times that came down here and investigated this story. And I just don't understand how the city council people and how especially the black, how you can.
Well, I know
not do something.
You had a when my friend was there, I know what he's talking about. We had, he had a radio station, and he had Stacy on his radio station, and we were talking about it. And he was trying to do something. See, you got to get the votes, but he didn't have the votes. You know what? See, here's the deal, and people don't talk about that. If you don't even have the votes, and see what it is. It was a 5-4 vote, and it was going to stay that way. So it wouldn't even eat. And I know,
and I know that.
So I know that. See, I know that. So you don't need to. In other words, that's political grandstanding. Just get up and say you're going to do something, so knowing you can't do it.
Can we say the city council ain't woke yet?
No, I ain't woke yet.
Okay, we say they ain't. Since everybody else is waking up,
they ain't woke.
We got to wake them up.
They ain't woke.
Yeah, we got to wake them up. Next year,
so that's why you got to have the conversation. It's got to be with the mayor and the city council, to all be on the same page. And then
election is next year, brother. Election is next year, and we can't wait till after election. I should have did that. We've got to get people involved right now.
Yeah, right now. In other words, this is an issue that isn't going away. Whereas we have a person from outside of Montgomery who can get hundreds of millions of dollars for people who were lynched,
right,
and slavery, which people say that was done. He's reminding everybody in every county where that happened. It's totally separate issue.
Well, I know
he don't get involved. Look, I'm gonna tell you what. He's not gonna get involved in that because he don't have a relationship with his mayor. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I saw him yesterday.
Yes, they don't know anything. Yeah. What is wrong with you?
So you choose your battle.
Listen and subscribe to Titus and Tate free wherever you get your podcasts for the Westwood One Podcast Network, where the conversation starts.
The U.S. Supreme Court was established on the principle.
But if it's the same principle,
Kevin,
but I know he's not.
What I'm telling you, his stuff is big, and he's dealing with the international community. Why are you gonna fight Montgomery? You get what I'm saying? it would be a battle between him and Montgomery. So no need to even get into that. I wouldn't even mention that because if the city of Montgomery wanted to do something, they would do it. He has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
But he's looking at the big picture. He's getting people out of jail that are incarcerated and all of this stuff here. And he's doing the big picture. Now, to get in a fight with Montgomery about the little picture, but first of all, Joe Reed is part of the problem. To be realistic. Because he's political. Why would a man who's not political get involved with politics? You get what I'm saying? He can very easily.
But when Joe is the one who said we should use politics to further the
that's just rhetoric.
Yeah, I know.
That's political rhetoric.
I know.
That's political rhetoric.
He said government should be used to help, and that's what we talked about.
What you had at the time, you had an unusual situation. A leader of the state Democratic Party for Black folks was on the city council. Leader of the white Republican Party was on the city council. Emory Farmer was the president of the Republican Party, and he was the chairman of the ANC. Now that's a very unusual situation where a state party has members in the same city that run state politics. So it's just politics. Don't even get into that. That's politics.
Numbers are 860-1440. We got about 10 minutes, 7-8 minutes left, so you can give us a call if you want to. We were just talking about, and again, it wasn't on my mind yesterday. It was just, I was sitting there at my desk last night, and somehow I come across the Whitehurst thing, and it is time. Now, next year is an election year. So here's what I think. If you plan on voting for anybody for that city council, you need to put the question to them: are you willing to do something for the Whitehurst family for the wrong things that were done to that family? It was 47 years ago. Yeah, 47 years ago. But justice is never. Martin Luther King said it is never wrong to do the right thing. And the right thing is it ain't the best thing, but it's something they can do. I think, and whoever's running for mayor, who's ever running for city council, they need to be. This question need to be asked because what did Martin Luther King said something? He said, "Injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere."
Right.
So we need to start asking real questions of people who run for
real good question to ask. Every candidate.
Every candidate. Mayor. Yeah. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
Good morning. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, that brought about two groups, the Friendly Supper Club and One Montgomery. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll see going forward. I talked to a couple of other members of the commission. I know what you're talking about. That's why I know you're on there. So I know. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm not against anything, and that's why I don't mention. I'm not against anything that's going on or any part of the process. But I've been so involved with so many of the preliminaries that I just can't go through another preliminary. After 30 years of going through them, I know the process, I know all of the groups, I know all of these consultants, and I can't go through them anymore.
Yep.
Okay then.
Appreciate it. Anyway, so now, I was telling Donald off the air, I said, everybody in America's woke right now. We telling everybody it's okay that if you want to be a girl, you can be. If you want to think yourself a girl, that's fine. We good with that. If you want to think that's what you are, that's cool with that. So everybody's woke, but we can't seem to wake up when it comes to the Whitehurst thing. We woke with everything else though. We got an alarm clock by our bed, woke, but for some reason when it comes to the Whitehurst thing, we still sleep.
We're not woke.
Yeah, we're not woke yet. So I'm just trying to figure out which city councilman is woke and which one ain't. And the one that ain't, I know that's not correct grammar, but I like to get a
well, that's what's important to you. In other words,
yeah.
we have these arguments about Confederate generals and Confederate being the names of streets and so forth.
Right.
Well, if you can find the money to change the name of a street from Jeff Davis,
which runs $25,000.
Yeah, if you can find $25,000 to do that, it should be easy to find the money to help with the situation of a man's life. We're talking about a man's life and his family having to suffer because for years.
Yeah.
Now, there should be some compensation for that.
Yeah, there should be.
I'm okay with the historical acknowledgments, but if you can find $25,000 to do that,
do the street.
I think if you got out there and you said, well, this is wrong, we think it's wrong, and we should rectify this situation. Now, that's what's important to you. Civil rights history is okay and it's important, but a man's life is more important to me.
Right. Good morning. Who's this? No, we can't have you. You took that marijuana over there by yourself. We can't do nothing about that one. Good morning. Yes. Right. Yeah, we need to wake them up. Yeah, but they ain't woke yet. Yeah. Oh, when do we have a concert downtown?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. Well, that's good, because if I didn't hear anything about it, that's a good sign.
Good.
Yeah.
So it was normal.
Yeah. They must didn't have no rap music playing. They did? Really? Okay. Well, that's good. Boy, it's nice to hear some good news.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. All right. All right. I got to get this last break out of the way, but I appreciate your comment. Ladies and gentlemen, men, this is for you. Okay, I'm going to take this seriously today. Do you feel you got low energy? You got low libido? Now, you may have low T. That's a thing that goes on with men, For $99, you go over to Montgomery Men's Health, and you let them check you out. You let them check out where you are in that process, okay? And they'll let you know right then. A day later, you'll know where you are, okay? Remember when you were just a little bit younger, okay? Nobody could top you or stop you. That's because you had a lot of testosterone, yeah. You were the man. Well, when you get a little older, things change, okay? But you can have it back again. But it starts with a call to Montgomery Men's Health at 334-440-3663. And I personally went there myself and had my T checked out. But more importantly than T, you get a PSA test. That test lets you know what shape your prostate is in. Now, I got to tell you something. From what I understand, prostate cancer is tough. It's painful. It's tough. And you might want to get that. I don't care about the T thing that much. You want to get that prostate thing checked out. That's a serious issue. Serious issue. And by the time if something goes wrong, if you don't get it checked out, you're looking at an arduous and a tough time. So give them a call, 440-3663. If you don't care how much testosterone you got, you at least want to know what your PSA numbers are, because that's very, very important. Okay? All right, gotta go. Donald, thank you for a great conversation.
Thank you.
You weren't even a pain today. All right, we'll see you. Have a great day, everybody. I gotta go find my phone somewhere. All right, bye. We'll be back later, I hope.
Williams with WSFA 12 News. Here's what's happening this
Oh,
morning.
yeah.
About from the State Board of Education.
Glad you brought that.
School graduation.
Quite appropriate. You're gonna get a lot of comments too.
Ain't done with you. Now this, I let it go before because I thought they were saying, I had gotten word that they was gonna talk to people about it and stuff like that. Well, obviously that didn't work out.
Well, you'll see what happens. So, it needs to be known that it's not a non-issue. It is an issue.
Right, big issue. Because if it can happen to them, it can happen to us.
Yeah, that's an issue. And what's important, we have to remember the cover-up. That scandalous, botched cover-up. I mean, they botched the cover-up.
I'm Jasmine Williams with WSFA 12 News and News
Willie Edwards, that was his name.
Yeah, that was the guy. He was a truck driver for Winn-Dixie.
And heard on 95.1 HD3 FM, Montgomery,
Willie Edwards.
continuous media station.
Hi, I'm Queen Latifah. Even with